tomorrow. Let's see the lineup for the Dodgers here in the first game of this quick two-gamer. Mookie Betts to lead it off, and then Freddie Freeman hitting second, starting at first base. Freeman has been one of the best hitters in this ballpark of anybody in baseball through the years. Turner hits third. Muncy is back at third hitting cleanup. That means Justin Turner DHs out of the 5 spot. Will Smith does the catching. Bellinger's in center. Chris Taylor's in left. And Gavin Lux at second base. Those two guys at the bottom of the order, the two best performances over the weekend in Denver. Chris Archer, you blink and he's 33 years old, entering his 10th season in the majors. Twins signed him to a 1-year contract just a little more than a week ago after he only pitched 19 innings over the last 2 years because of various injuries. So this is one of those things where it's a low risk, 1-year, low money signing with a high ceiling if he can get back to where he was earlier in his career.
Yeah, I mean, you remember those years he had in Tampa. I mean, he was really the workhorse. 230, 240 plus innings, very dominant. You know, then again, probably the wear and tear, you know, led to those injuries, thoracic outlet surgery and hip labrum surgery. So he's going to have to come right at you with that fastball. He's known for that slider. I mean, that is his pitch. If he's getting that thing over, locating the fastball, he's got that changeup occasionally, but really fastball slider.
He's had a hard time with the Dodgers through his career. He's faced them 3 times. He's suffered the loss in all 3 and has an ERA above 6. So they'll try to continue those demons on this cool Tuesday night in Minneapolis. Twins coming off splitting 4 games with the Mariners. They dropped the first 2, then won the last 2. Dodgers trying to even their record up at 2-2, and off we go. Mookie Betts, first pitch swinging. Pops it up at the back of the infield for Jorge Polanco, and that's how this one gets going. I guess Mookie got the weather forecast memo. You try to get those 5 innings in. Numbers for Archer against the Dodgers, that with Tampa Bay and with Pittsburgh. And now he faces Freddie Freeman, who in this ballpark, EK, in 5 games, 546 average with 4 home runs.
Yeah, loves to hit here. You know, and you wonder, you know, why are some guys great in ballparks? You know, maybe it's the hitting background. Maybe they just feel there's a presence. I mean, there used to be places, man, I could hit, in other places, not a chance.
Here's a 1-0 to Freeman. That's a strike, 1-1. Freddie was 2 for 12 against Colorado. First-year Twin against first-year Dodger. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the Dodger offense in those 3 games, only 11 runs and only 4 extra base hits, which is going to be a surprise in any 3-game series for this team to have just 4 extra base hits, especially the case when it was at Coors Field.
Well, take it a step further where you talk Coors Field. 1 home run.
Right, from Austin Barnes.
Right? Not taking anything away from Barnesy, but that wouldn't have been your guess.
Lays off a well-located high fastball, and it's 2-2. Archer touched 95 there. Juiced up here for his first start of the season after he averaged 92 at the fastball last year. 95 is back where he lived in his best years. Home of the 2-2. And Freeman skies 1 to short left. Alberto Celestino, long way to go. He'll get there. 2 gone. No score first inning. Here's Trey Turner. 1 hit in all 3 games so far. And back to last season, a 22-game hitting streak that is the longest active streak in the majors. One and 0. We talk about the Dodger offense not producing the way that anybody had expected over the first few games. A lot of the production came from down at the bottom. You don't figure that this group at the top is going to go too long without having one of these guys have a huge night between Betts and Freeman, Turner and Muncy, and yet to have one of those guys really break out.
Well, just think what happens when there's 2 and 3 of those guys clicking at the same time.
Which the backs of those collective baseball cards would tell you should be plenty of times where that happens. 2-1.
That's right at the bottom of the zone right there. Trey gets a call. Archer hasn't missed by much. He threw into Freddie Freeman, who was at the top of the zone, and didn't get the call.
Native of Clayton, North Carolina, deals a 2-1 pitch, and in the hands with the fastball, and it evens at 2-2. Well, there you go. 1 through 4 in the order, which was the same 4 guys every day. Betts, Freeman, Turner, and Muncy. Just 154 with an on-base below 200 in those 3 games. What offense there was came from the bottom. 2-2. Overthrows the slider, and the count goes full.
When you look at those numbers, all that means is somebody's going to pay, because you know you're not going to keep those guys down like that.
Yeah, sometimes a pitcher, you see that coming in and you say, oh,
yeah, right.
Here's a payoff, and Turner pops it foul. We'll do it again. Trey Turner in his 2nd season with the Dodgers, his first full season over at the trade deadline last year. The Dodgers went 40-12 in games that Trey Turner played in. '28-year-old waits on another 3-2 and hits it sharply to short. Backhand stab at the Gold Glover Correa. End to 1-2-3 first inning for Chris Archer. So he begins his Minnesota tenure. Andrew Heaney will begin his Dodger tenure when you come back. Let's take a look at the lineup. Byron Buxton will lead it off. The guy EK touched on off of the top, one of the most exciting players in baseball. Followed by the big free agent pickup in Carlos Correa. Polanco hits 3rd. Then it's Urshela and Sanchez, acquired from the Yankees just a few weeks back. Kepler's in right, Jeffers the catcher, Sano at first, and Celestino in left field. Time for the Audi player profile as we meet Andrew Heaney, the 31-year-old from Oklahoma City who signed a 1-year contract. 7 seasons with the Angels, and then the final 2 months last year with the Yankees. It did not go well, and so he looks for a bounce-back season. The Dodgers trying to do with him what they've done with so many guys, make a tweak here, a tweak there, and unlock some of the past success that they've had, which he's had. His first one to Buxton is outside, ball 1.
Well, don't blink right here, Joe, because this is the guy you want to watch on Minnesota. I mean, this, talk about uber talent. And he's getting off to a great start. 3 home runs. You see these home runs. Now, you look at this one in the blue here that goes in the top deck, okay, 436 feet. Let me add a little something to that. That was off a 101-mile-an-hour pitch. Reliever from Seattle, Munoz. I mean, that's crazy. You see right there, that was the slider. And we talked about it at the top of the show and made some tweaks. Not so sweeping, more biting, and it's a great location.
Trying to get something that matches up with his fastball motion and movement. And he throws back-to-back sliders to strike out Buxton. There were times last year where the breaking ball got too big, and so it was completely different, out of a completely different tunnel from his fastball. And this new slider that he found just recently in his last side session in Colorado, felt really comfortable with it. It breaks basically in the opposite direction, same shape as his fastball that takes off to the arm side.
Well, and it's got a little more depth than that other slider he was throwing. This other one had more sweep. This is a little more down.
Carlos Correa, ball 1.
There it is again. You know, it's funny you mentioned. So where do you think ever in the history of baseball did a guy find a new breaking pitch while throwing a side session in Colorado?
Yeah.
Like, right.
3 days before his season.
Right.
Yeah. Here's a 1-0. And the thing is, during spring, the breaking ball, he did not feel good about it. And it got lit up. And so it's like, okay, well, you're going to find a new pitch 3 days before the season. You're going to take it into a game against a good lineup. And the thought is, well, yeah, when the other one just did not feel right, yeah. This is ripped down the line by Carlos Correa. He's going to have himself a double. And the Twins with the first base runner of the night.
This is that pitch right there, just didn't get it in enough. And Correa just shoots that down the line. I mean, really, you look at the 1-2 punch of this Twins lineup, Buxton and Correa. I mean, those are two as good athletes as there is in the game.
It's a team that won the division back-to-back seasons in 2019 and 2020. 2019, they had 100 wins. Then last year in an injury-riddled campaign, a lot of that without Buxton, they were in dead last. Jorge Polanco is one of the bright spots in that rough 2021 season. Swings and misses at a first pitch breaker. There's some optimism around here. That was kind of a roller coaster, wasn't it, in March, as they traded away a couple key pieces, and it's like, what are we doing? And nobody saw the Correa thing coming. But then that happens, and suddenly it's like, okay, in a weak Central, maybe they got a shot. Heaney's 0-1. Gets another swing and a miss.
I mean, early on, Heaney looks great with that pitch. I mean, you saw it throw it to Buxton, and Buxton swung through him. Same thing now with Polanco.
He's thrown it 7 times. He's gotten 6 swings and misses.
Well, I don't think these Twins hitters, they're like, what's this?
Right.
This isn't in any report or any video, or nobody told us.
Yeah, they told us he had this big one. It was this tight thing. 0-2 pitch. On the ground to third. Max Muncy to get Polanco. Here's Gio Urshela. He gets himself a new ball with the rain coming down. Urshela, one of the players acquired from the Yankees just a few weeks ago, along with Gary Sanchez, as they shipped Josh Donaldson to New York, and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who they had just acquired from Texas. Rifled foul. Well, this is technically Andrew Heaney's second time with the Dodgers. The first one lasted a few hours. Debuted with the Marlins and got traded to the Dodgers as a key piece in the D. Gordon deal. Flipped to the Angels the same day for Howie Kendrick. So I think he was technically all those years an old friend. 7 years with the Angels, including a rookie season in 2015 where Heaney had a 3.5 ERA. He's looking like one of the budding young pitchers in the American League before injuries popped up. He missed almost all of 2016 and 17 following Tommy John surgery, and multiple elbow setbacks in the years since that have made it a really frustrating stretch for him. But he feels healthy at this point. And all reports from the Dodger coaches and training staff is that he is a blank slate, wide open to all the information they have for him, all the suggestions they have, and is just completely open to any ideas they have to get him back on track. It's a fastball by Urshela. Nice giddy up on that. 1-2.
Well, that's the thing. If I'm a pitcher and I've struggled, but I have had past success, or I've got some good stuff, and I'm looking for a ball club to sign with, I'm Dodgers 100 out of 100 times. Just because you know that they've got all the coaching, the technology, the understanding. I mean, they're going to make you as good as you can possibly be, whatever that may be.
Heaney trying to pitch around the double from Correa. Good stop by Will Smith. 2 balls and 2 strikes. One of the key conversations when he was a free agent, the Dodgers were recruiting him, was with Mark Prior, who we just saw a moment ago. And they hit it off right away. Mark Prior will be the 7th pitching coach over the last 8 years that Andrew Heaney's had.
That's some consistency, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
that or the opposite of that. 2-2. High fly ball to left. No big deal for Chris Taylor, who's saying, thank goodness we're not in Denver anymore with that wind swirling. I don't care how cold it is. That's a scoreless first inning for Andrew Heaney. Off and rolling in Minneapolis. Take a look at the FTX umpire crew. Jerry Meals is the crew chief and will call balls and strikes in this one. Ed Hickox at first, Jansen Visconti at second, Ryan Wills at third. For this quick 2-game series between these teams. Zeros put up by Chris Archer and Andrew Heaney in the first inning, and here comes Max Muncy to open the second. Trying to get his season going. He singled in his first at bat for the first Dodger hit of the year. He's 0 for 12 since and has been visibly and audibly frustrated. Not one to hide his emotions, not one to hide how he's feeling. And we've seen some of those frustrations bubbling over already.
I mean, the frustrations too, are, especially in Colorado, he just missed some pitches, and you know, is that a timing thing? Is that coming back from injury? You know, whatever it is, it's frustrating as a hitter because you're sitting there, you're going, oh, I know I can hit that. I know I will hit that. I know, but I didn't hit it.
There's the elbow injury last year, and then just a horrible year to have an injury like that where you have no contact with the training staff. You have no contact with the front office during the offseason because of the lockout. So he started swinging a bat in January after doing his own rehab program. Granted, the Dodgers got him on a path, but he couldn't check in at all. And then he spent much of his drive from Texas to Arizona for spring training having his first conversations with Dave Roberts and the training staff and the front office, just reconnecting and updating those guys on his status. Conversations that would normally take place as the offseason went on. And Max isn't alone in that. Anybody that was rehabbing from an injury went through a similar thing.
Or had an injury over the offseason. You go look down to San Diego, Fernando Tatis doing a little riding on a motorcycle. Didn't work out too well, and broken wrist, surgery, all that good stuff until what, July maybe? I mean, that,
yeah, they're talking mid-season, and they didn't even know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because of that, you know, the lockout. That's one of the byproducts from a negative standpoint that, I mean, that hurt a lot of ball clubs.
Muncy leading off this second and hitting a ball well to right center field. Buxton in the move. He will run it down. Byron Buxton showing off one of the many phases where he is spectacular.
We talked about it at the top of the show. One of the best athletes in the game is this man right here. And he flat out just ran. I'm not going to say ran. He outran that baseball.
Top 1% in the majors, EK, in sprint speed. He's top 4% in the majors in how hard he hits the ball. And he's top 5% in how he grades out defensively. One gone. Here's Justin Turner. Top of the zone, strike one. Turner 3 out of 13 in Colorado. And facing a guy that he has owned in Archer, he is 6 for 8. One ball, one strike.
Yeah, somebody would say, well, 8 at-bats, that's not a good sample size. You know, you can't. But when you're 6 for 8, you got this guy. Yeah.
Takes a fastball for a strike, 1-2. Archer deals, and Turner watches one miss away.
You talked about earlier, Archer getting that up there at 95 miles an hour. outside.
One of 4 new starting pitchers for the Twins. New as in within the last month. 2-2. Full count. So they got Archer and then Chris Paddock, longtime San Diego Padre. Just got him in a trade. Dodgers will see him tomorrow. Sonny Gray is now Minnesota Twin. Dylan Bundy pitched well for him last night in his Twins debut. His pitching was the biggest issue last year. On the ground to short, Carlos Correa. High throw, but Sano's got it. Yeah, so the pitching in 2020, when they won their 2nd consecutive division title, they had a 3.5 ERA as a staff. That was 4th in the majors. They were 26th last year.
Well, that's the thing that so far, and again, it's been 4 games, but you know, they basically, I'm not going to say they shut down Seattle, but they only allowed 10 runs
to a team that has a chance to be
hit,
pretty good.
Right, they're supposed to hit.
Rocco Baldelli, their manager. Here's Will Smith with 2 away, taking a strike. Archer didn't get that one where he wanted, but he likes the result. And the young catcher Smith, who 1 for 6 with a pair of walks.
It's one of those backup breaking balls.
That one did not back up.
Right.
Will only chased 1 pitch out of the strike zone in the 3 games in Colorado, but Archer gets him to go after this one. Oh, 2. Ball 1. On a 1-2 pitch, Smith fouls it off. We'll do it again. It's not a big crowd tonight, and what, probably 40 or 50% Dodger fans. There's a huge section of Dodger fans right down by the Dodger dugout. We'll have to listen again when Carlos Correa comes up next time. Showered with boos from
the Dodger
fans who haven't forgotten 2017. Another 1-2. Count evens up.
Well, we've got weather. Obviously, that was something, but probably most importantly in this city, the Timberwolves and the Clippers.
Yeah, playing game.
Yeah, that playing game.
Just across the street from here at the Target Center. Two and 2 on Will Smith. The count goes full. Dodgers looking for their first base runner of this one against Archer. Facing the Twins for the first time in 5 years. They were supposed to face them in 2020, but then that schedule, remember, got altered for the shortened COVID season. So the first time in a long time these teams have met up. On a payoff, Smith hits it sharply, scooped at third by Urshela. And another 1-2-3 inning for Chris Archer. It's a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink, valid at LA area restaurants. They pitched around 1 out, doubled in the first inning. Here we go with the second. Gary Sanchez to lead off for Minnesota. The longtime New York Yankee who's in his first homestand with the Twins. Hit a grand slam, drove in 5 on Sunday. Yeah, there's never been any question about the power. The 29-year-old two-time All-Star takes a strike as you look back at the grand slam.
I think he has a big year this year. And just because he's out of New York, he's out of that pressure cooker. Just going to be allowed to go play.
He's facing a guy here, EK and Heaney, who he caught 8 times last year, and he's got to be watching that breaking pitch saying, I saw you for 8 games last year, and what is this? Where did this come from? This came out of the mountains, out of the thin air in Colorado. 0-2 pitch. Up with a fastball to strike him out. Second strikeout for Andrew Heaney. One gone in the second.
Heaney living up at the top of the zone with that fastball. Good vertical movement. Talk about the spin rate. He could live up there. Sanchez swinging just underneath the ball.
And that fastball, as the breaking ball came and went last year, was his best pitch. Throws it a bunch. 60% of the time puts him in the top 5 in the majors in terms of how often he uses his fastball. As Max Kepler stands in and looks at a strike. Especially good when it's used up, that fastball.
Well, we talked about it the other day, you know, and it doesn't necessarily, you know, those balls that, you know, have the high spin rate and have the good vertical movement. They can also be used down around the knees, because a lot of hitters will give up on that pitch because they think, okay, it's going to fall out of the zone. But it keeps its plane for the most part, doesn't drop as much, and while a hitter may give up on it, boom, strike at the knees.
2-1. Chopped right side, Freddie Freeman. 2 up and 2 down in this second inning.
Predict who will dominate the 2022 season, and you could win $100,000 worth of not dollars, but $100,000 worth of Bitcoin or cash with MLB Season Pick'em presented by FTX. View rules and enter at MLB.com/season pick'em.
That was a minefield, huh?
That was, yeah, minefield. I see the Bitcoin.
Oh, I didn't even mean to, but thank you.
You're good. You're
Together
good.
we will, huh? Ryan Jeffers with the bases empty and 2 out. Minnesota catcher takes the ball. Jeffers going to share the catching duties with Gary Sanchez. Sanchez, obviously the new veteran acquisition. Jeffers, a young player who the Twins think highly of. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the 24-year-old in his 3rd year with Major League time. He broke in 2020 with a handful of games. Played half a season for him last year. And then this spring, in a 24-hour span, went from, oh, I'm the guy now, because they traded Mitch Garver to Texas, to, oh, maybe I'm not the guy, because they traded for Gary Sanchez the next day. Future's his, though.
Well, he's going to get an opportunity, right? And, you know, if Garver would have still been here, it wouldn't have been as much. You know, I think with Sanchez, he'll get a lot of time at DH, and, you know, there's no secret to the history of his defensive issues.
Two and 2 on Jeffers. Heaney looking for 1-2-3 second. Weak roller to third. There's Muncy. Yeah, both these pitchers debuting for their new teams, looking sharp through 2.
With the 2022 Spectrum Sports Educator Sweepstakes, 8 lucky winners will receive a $50 gift certificate from Shakey's Pizza plus a teaching kit. Enter online at SpectrumEducator.com for your chance to win.
Back at Target Field, beautiful place, open in 2010. No scores. We go to the 3rd inning. Joe Davis, Eric Karros, Kirsten Watson, and Chris Archer in his Twins debut. He's retired all 6 that he's faced. Now faces the bottom 3rd of the order with Cody Bellinger to lead it off. Bellinger had the frustrating first 2 games in Denver, but capped off that second game with a couple of encouraging at-bats where he pointed out how hard he competed, how deep he ran counts against very difficult pitchers. And Dave Roberts talked to him after the game and said, I know you didn't have the results, but I appreciate the fight, appreciate your working. It's going to break for you. And it started 2 on Sunday when he got his first 2 hits of the year. And an 0-1 from Archer. Swings and misses, quickly 0-2.
If you're Cody, you're just trying to build on stuff. You're just trying to have some feel-good at-bats. And the one thing you can control is going up there to compete. And that's something you got to do regardless, no matter if things are going good, bad, compete.
0-2 pitch. Archer makes quick work of him here. First strikeout for Chris Archer, 1 gone in the 3rd.
I mean, Archer looks good. I mean, you have to hand it to him. I mean, I'm not sure that this is what I expected, but he's 94, 95. The slider right around the zone. When he does miss, he's not missing by much. And you want to talk about somebody with a little bit of swagger, somebody that's always going to compete. That's Chris Archer.
And faces another Chris Taylor. Led the Dodgers by going 4 for 7 over the weekend, and he takes strike 1 from Archer.
Yeah, CT had some great at-bats over the weekend. And if you kind of look at something here, the pitches are up. You know, they're not low. They're kind of up, out over the plate. You see that one. He goes after it. It's out of the zone, but able to barrel that thing up.
2 of those were doubles. 2 of the 4 extra base hits for L.A.
All right around, though, on the same plane, you know.
It's been a good start for Taylor, who had the minor elbow surgery at the end of the regular season end of the postseason last year. Something that had been bothering him through the years. And there were some bone chips in there they had to clean up. Actually, it was hurting him hitting more than it was hurting him throwing. Originally injured it back as a sophomore in high school when he was a pitcher. He says topping out at about 80 miles an hour with a nice knuckle curve, but injured his elbow and ended his pitching career at that point. But just something he's played through. Some lingering pain from that through the years. It got to the point where he said, okay, this is affecting my swing too much, where we need to do something about it. It's back when Chris was like 105 pounds. Said he was a good pitcher until he got to high school when he had to move back. Back when it was like 45 feet, just threading it by dudes. 2-2. 2 out. Back-to-back Ks from Archer.
Archer goes with that trademark slider of his. It made him so effective. I mean, he looks like old Chris Archer right now, Tampa Bay Chris Archer.
You mentioned the 3-season run there where he was excellent. All-star twice, top 5 Cy Young Award vote getter.
What about the innings? The innings pitched.
Over 200 3 years in a row.
Yeah, but like even
strike on Lux.
Yeah, and the strikeouts too.
Over 200
right,
3 years in a row.
It just, like, you don't realize, you know, how good he was.
Debuted in 2013. He was 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. And he got traded to Pittsburgh, and it's been a struggle since. Yeah, the injuries, but before that, the snowballing pressure of seeing what was going on with the guys that they traded for him. Tyler Glasnow became a stud for the Rays. Austin Meadows, the same thing. Shane Baz is now their top pitching prospect. And here's Archer struggling to find it in Pittsburgh, and only human looking at that, seeing that, and saying, man, oh man, like, I'm now the punchline of a bad trade. And has had to get over that mentally. He's had way too much time to think about that with how much time he's missed with the injuries. Here's his 2-1 to Lux. It's 2-2. Left that one up, fouled off. Hey, so what, like 50 degrees or so here at game time? Gavin Lux is from Kenosha, Wisconsin, about 5.5 hours from here, where it's obviously very cold as well. He said, I am so soft now. He was thinking of going with a ski mask tonight. He said just to get used to it, because he knows he's wearing it tomorrow when there's a high of 45. 2-2 again. And it's drilled right center field. Buxton will turn and watch this thing hit off the top of the wall. Gavin Lux with a tremendous start to this season. He's got a double here in the third. First base runner of the day for the Dodgers.
This ball just down the middle of the plate. Lux has had great at-bats so far this year. We talked about the ones in Colorado. This thing off the wall. But he's been patient. He's been laying off pitches. He's been battling. I mean, he really looks like a veteran hitter.
They're talking with some of the Dodger front office staff who monitored him closely as he came up through the minors. They say this is what he looked like when he was the minor league player of the year in 2019. Swinging at strikes, taking balls without a flinch, and doing damage when he swings at one.
Hey, how about that number 9 spot?
Jeez, again?
Right.
Here's Betts with 2 gone, looking at ball 1. There's that ski mask. So maybe somebody gave him a hard time and he shed it. Chance for Betts to get the Dodgers on the board. He hits one in the air to left center, but Celestino will cruise under it and finish off the third. Dodgers get their first base runner, but don't score. Middle 3, nothing. Coverage in the game. Let's check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Temperatures dip down into the 40s. It's still a little bit misty. And these fans, a lot of them in Dodger blue, well prepared. Rain can't get him down. Hey, the ski mask is back. He's just using it in the field. Miguel Sano to lead off this third for the Twins against Heaney. He's high with a fastball. And Miguel Sano, one of the prototype modern hitters, all or nothing, and so far this season has been nothing. 0 for 13, 6 strikeouts. For a guy who can hit it as far as anybody, when he does hit it, it's just he goes through stretches where he doesn't make a whole lot of contact. But then he'll go through a stretch, will hit 7 home runs in a 12-game stretch, and this just kind of is who Miguel Sano is at this point. No longer a young player, no longer new to the big leagues. He's in his 8th year. 28-year-old waits on a 2-0 from Heaney. Hits it way up there. Taylor waits for it to come down. There's the first out. One gone, 3rd inning. Here's the 9-hitter, Gilberto Celestino. First appearance of the season for him after he made his debut last year with a handful of games. Down the line and foul.
And he came in the other night, defensive replacement. They like him. Getting that getting to that right side, facing Heaney tonight.
Heaney fires a 1-1 pitch. Celestino takes it inside, ball 2. Heaney, the former 9th overall pick of the draft in 2012 out of Oklahoma State. He's originally from Oklahoma City. Top of the zone here, and it's 1-2. Somebody that people in Anaheim rave about him as a teammate. Joe Madden loved him. Said he's thoughtful, bright. Breaking pitch taken low, 2-2. Thoughtful, bright, and eager to learn whatever he can. Rings him up with a fastball, his 3rd K.
Dots that fastball in there. I mean, Heaney's looked good. You know, he's got that new pitch and kept Minnesota off balance. Outside of that ball that Correa hit, he's missing barrels.
We had Buxton looking like,
oh,
Buxton had never seen a breaking ball. He certainly hadn't seen that breaking ball. Definitely looked like a lineup who was prepared for a different type of breaking pitch. And of course they would be. This is one that he's unveiling today. Backdoored it there for a strike on Buxton. Coming inside with an 0-1. Foul tip, 0-2.
There's that pitch again. That new slider. Buxton just hasn't been able to figure that out. He just keeps burying that down and in. And if he keeps it in that location, he's fine. Right? The problem is if he leaves that thing out over the plate, that just comes right into a right-hander's bat. But where he's spotting it now, oof.
Upstairs with an 0-2, and he chases a fastball, strike 3. Heaney struck out Buxton both times. He gets 2 Ks in this 11-pitch inning. 3 scoreless to open his Dodger career. Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Feed your happy at Carl's Jr. and earn double stars on any purchase in the app. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop NissanUSA.com. Twins great Rod Carew outside Target Field. No score as we go to the 4th inning. Andrew Heaney, impressive stuff through 3. He struck out 4, giving up just 1 base runner. Archer's been equally impressive for the Twins. He struck out 2 and also allowed just 1 base runner. Breaking ball, strike 1 on Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, that's been his key tonight, that breaking ball. 19 of 27 for strikes. I mean, that's over 70%. Fastball just has not been the same, been about 50% as far as throwing strikes. Would you believe below 50% after that pitch?
I would, given the math. 1 ball, 1 strike. Freeman leaves it upstairs, ball 2.
Well, the second time now for the Dodgers to see Chris Archer. Got a feel for how that slider is breaking. Probably recognizing that the fastball command hasn't been great.
Punch the other way. Celestino on the move. Won't get there. Extra bases for Freddie Freeman. A double to start the 4th.
Typical Freddie Freeman going the other way. Now, I'm not really sure about that route. You know, you look at it, he's just going back and shouldn't have been going back. Should have been going more side to side, and wasn't one of the most efficient paths to the ball there.
Hey, here we go, 4th inning.
Right.
This is when the magic happens, right? He scored 5 in the 4th on opening day. He scored 4 in the 4th on Sunday. 9 of their 11 runs came in this inning. With the ski mask on, Trey Turner. Chases 1 up, strike 1. Trey's a Florida guy, so you can understand him not loving this weather. Grounded is short, not going to do the trick. 1 out. Turner made it close, but beat him by a beat at first. 1 gone.
Yeah, Turner hustling down there. You say he made it close. Find out that, you know, big league shortstops, whether you're fast, whether you're slow, they'll get you by a step. And it's almost like there was a great Hall of Famer, Ozzie Smith, and he, you know, I was not fast, and he'd get me by a step every time. Like, it'd make me run like, man, I might get a hit. I might, oh.
Tease ya. 1 gone for Muncy. Line to center his first time. Buxton made a great play on it. The 106-mile-per-hour line drive that Buxton tracked down.
Yeah, Muncy's just, I mean, he's really just hit into bad luck this year. You know, that line out in the second and an exit velo of over 106. He's hit 4 balls this year over 100 miles per hour. 3 or 4 of them out.
Pop up left side of the infield after the leadoff double from Freeman. Nothing doing with the next 2 hitters. So it's up to Justin Turner, who also hit it hard his first time, but add a defender. Correa made a nice play at short. Justin Turner in his 14th year in the majors. 9th one with the Dodgers. Takes the first one high. Leadoff double for Freeman. He takes his lead as Archer gets ready for this 1-0. Turner fouls it off. 1-1. Dodgers yet to really figure out that slider, and through 4 games this season, breaking pitches have been the biggest issue.
The reality is that's what they're going to continue to see until they prove differently. The other thing I'll say too is, you know, so far this year the Dodgers have not hit in what I would call good hitting weather. I mean, it's been cold. It's just cold or it's windy, and not an excuse, but that's just fact.
Kind of knew that looking at the schedule, didn't you? Came out and saw this road trip. Yeah, good chance that's not going to be great hitting weather.
Yeah, you know what though, the thing, Colorado kind of fooled me though. About 10 days out, I'm looking at it, you know, it's like 70s. I'm
yeah.
Going, oh my.
We had the one nice day, like Saturday night was pretty nice in Denver.
Yeah.
2-1. Archer deals and Turner leaves it upstairs. Ball 3. Will Smith waits on deck. Dodgers trying to strike first here in game 1 of 2-game series that will take place in 24-hour span. Second game is tomorrow at noon, and then they're home for the home opener Thursday night against the Reds. On a 3-1 from Chris Archer, Justin Turner fouls it off and the count goes full. It's going to be interesting to see how long they let Chris Archer go. He's at 62 pitches. We've seen teams very aggressive in how they've managed their starters. One thing the Twins have working for them is that they're using a 6-man rotation, so an extra day of rest for all these guys. Here comes the 3-2. Fastball right down the middle. Leadoff double, nothing to show for it. Middle 4, no score. Inside the Box score brought to you by your Lexus dealers. These two pitchers and their debuts with their new teams have been the stars of the show. Andrew Heaney for the Dodgers, just one base runner through 3 innings. He's gotten a bunch of swings and misses. Chris Archer 4 scoreless of his own. Teeth of the lineup coming up here against Heaney. Carlos Correa was that lone base runner with a double in the first inning. Leads things off and takes ball 1. Correa hearing it from the Dodger fans that are here. Surprise signing of the Twins and what they're calling the biggest free agent signing ever here. 6 decades of Twins baseball. 1 year, $35 million contract essentially. Now it's a 3-year deal, but there are opt-outs after each season. So the expectation is that he's going to play 1 year here and then turn it into a long-term contract somewhere else. Or if the Twins aren't in contention, he's a beautiful trade chip for him. It's a strike and it's 2-1.
Yeah, you can't argue about the creativity of the signing for both sides, the Twins and for Carlos. You look at that resume right there. Platinum Glove Award winner last year.
There's that slider of Heaney, and it's 2-2. Andrew Heaney, EK, has 11 swings and misses. Just to put that in perspective, Dodger starters in Colorado average 6 swings and misses. He's already got 11. He had 7 in the first inning. Full count.
Well, that pitch tonight that he's debuted, I mean, you can't question it. It's been great.
See what he goes with on a 3-2 to Correa. It is the slider, and it's rifled to left again. Same result as last time. Correa's headed for second with his second double of the night.
There's that pitch, and we talked about it earlier. If he gets it in, it's great. But you see this thing out over the plate. Hitter able to get to it. Now, Carlos, the lowest swing rate against left-handed pitching last year, only 41%. I mean, he never swings a bat against lefties. But when he does, damage.
Tees things up for the middle of the lineup. Here's Jorge Polanco. Finally healthy and performing at a high level for the Twins. Hit 33 home runs last year. Goes after the first pitch, serves a fly ball to the gap in right center for Mookie Betts. And 1 pitch later, 1 out. Mookie just reminding Correa, don't even think about it.
Interesting for both ball clubs. Remember last inning, Freddie Freeman leading off with the double, and Dodgers unable to move him here. Correa. Remember, this game, it's a little different because of the weather. I mean, it's almost as if you might be in the 7th or 8th inning right now because you're just trying to score. I mean, at least if I'm just trying to put something on the board because this may only be a 5 or 6 inning game, weather depending.
Well, I'm just peeking now, and 8 o'clock, which is 15 minutes from now here in Minnesota, 60%, 100% at 9 o'clock. Urshela watches a generous outside corner strike.
Yeah, it's almost as if I would play this game a bit differently because there's a timer on this thing.
Yeah,
I mean that's a reality, and you know, look at just getting a run or two, and I get that's not conventional baseball, but it's not conventional tonight.
Right. Urshela grounded out his first time. The old New York Yankee takes a ball, and it's 1-1. So teammates for a short time, these two, Heaney and Urshela. Sharply hit. Muncy gobbles it up. 2 gone in the 4th, and mirror images so far, the top and the bottom of the inning.
A nice play by Max Muncy right there. That thing was hit hard. Able to stay in front of it.
Not an easy bounce.
No.
Muncy said he's comfortable at third. It's a hard position only to play once a week or once every 10 days. And so hoping that he can get a little more time than that. Obviously still going to be mostly Justin Turner, but much easier to make the move over there when it's a couple times a week. He's going to play more there than he ever has. 2 gone for Gary Sanchez. Neither one of these teams with a hit with a runner in scoring position tonight. Sanchez swings and misses. Bottom falls out on a first pitch slider. And he continues to rack up those Ks, or the swings and misses. Struck out Sanchez his first time. It's one of his 4 tonight. No walks, 2 hits, both doubles by Correa. Up with the fastball, and boy, he held his breath, I'm sure, as he watched Sanchez take a cut at one that wasn't quite as high as he wanted.
That's where Heaney can live, though. He can live up in the zone, as you mentioned. Didn't get up quite as high as he wanted to.
Josh Winder warming. That answers the question we asked in the top of this inning. Looks like Archer's going to go just the 4. Heaney trying to pitch out of the leadoff double. Here's his 0-2. He strikes out Sanchez again. His 5th K of the night and 4 scoreless in his Dodger debut. Ball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers and by Mito Lotto. Download the new Mito Lotto app to order tickets for this week's big lottery jackpots. Scan the QR code for a free ticket. Identical lines after an identical 4th inning. Leadoff double for both sides, and then 1, 2, 3 after that, finishing with a strikeout. 1 for Archer, 1 for Heaney. Archer's finish. Josh Winder is beginning his big league career tonight. 25-year-old from Richmond, Virginia, who's one of their top prospects. And before they signed Archer and acquired Sonny Gray and acquired Chris Paddock, Winder was ticketed for the rotation, but he's going to work out of the bullpen and can give them some length in this one.
And you see the big right-hander, 6'5", about 215 pounds. You look at those innings, and he's been effective. And he's been real good. And there's Rocco, and that's who he's decided to go with. And that's the thing, that this staff, it's a combination of young. It's got some veteran guys as well. But that's a big question. I mean, they've got guys that have had good histories. They've got some young arms, but what is that pitching going to be like this year?
It's Will Smith to lead off the 5th for the Dodgers. Bellinger and Taylor to follow against Josh Winder. First pitch is in there for a strike. Rocco Baldelli, 40 years old, in his 4th season. So we've got the 1st overall pick, the 2nd overall pick, and the 9th overall pick of the 2012 draft in this game tonight. You've got Correa and Buxton, and Andrew Heaney was the 9th pick. Rocco Baldelli, a former 6th overall pick. And then Rocco is the Rookie of the Year. 21-year-old in 2003, played 7 seasons in the majors, and had just a wonderful career going on at first, but suffered from a rare muscular disorder that forced him into retirement in his late 20s. Guy they called the Woonsocket Rocket. He's at a Woonsocket, Rhode Island, a freak athlete that could dunk when he was 13. He's all-state in baseball, basketball, volleyball, all-state track and field runner, who looked like he was going to have an epic big league career, and might have, if not for the injuries. But injuries in the muscular disorder. But has turned into one of the bright young managers in baseball.
With Tampa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that? Yep.
Yep. And before he became the manager here, he was in Tampa Bay in the front office and player development, and then on Kevin Cash's staff. Full count on Will Smith. So somebody that the Dodger front office knows well. Obviously Andrew Friedman, and many of his guys came from Tampa Bay. The Woonsocket Rocket. Smith starting this fifth and hitting a towering fly ball down the line, hooking, foul. That thing was way up there. There is a bit of a breeze, and the flags over the left field stands look to be in the direction where that ball was hit. It ain't nothing compared to Sunday, though, is it?
Right.
Yeesh.
I mean, you had the trash blowing around on the field, crazy wind up in.
Oh, wow. He goes off of the plate to ring up Smith, and Josh Winder starts his career with a strikeout.
Yeah, that ball, good 3 balls off the plate. I mean, not even close. I mean, that's upsetting. If I'm a hitter, I don't even know what I'm doing right now because I've got to catch, so I've got to keep my mouth shut. But you just want to turn around to Jerry Meals and say, dude, are you trying back here or what?
And you can say, well, okay, I'm going to remember that when I go out there for my guy.
God.
They're authenticating the ball. Is that for the worst missed strike call of the year?
The early on leader.
Yeah. Umpire auditor is going to be all over that one on social media. 2-0 on Cody Bellinger. Struck out his first time. That was against Chris Archer. Now facing the debuter, Josh Winder. He fires a 2-0 pitch. That's ball 3. Dodgers facing a Twin staff that back to Sunday, and they played yesterday too. So last 2+ games, 19 straight scoreless innings for the Twins. Green light, strike 1. Josh Winder threw in the Futures game last year. Bright young prospect breaking in today. April 12th, 2022. He deals a 3-1 and has walked Bellinger. First walk of the game taken by the Dodgers. Only their 3rd base runner over these 5 innings. And it brings up Chris Taylor. Taking a look at video on Josh Winder down there on the iPads.
I mean, you don't even want to look at that because it'll just make you more mad. Because it's one of those things that if it's just a little bit off the plate, okay, you know, all right, but that, all right, we'll move on. I feel like I was hitting up there. That's how mad I am.
Yeah, imagine how they're feeling. There goes Bellinger. Got a great jump. Throw is into center field. Bellinger doesn't know it yet, and he discovered it too late. He steals second.
Well, and you saw right there, that little clip, he was saying that's on me because when he slides right there, the first thing he should be doing is picking up Dino over at third base coach. And you see, watch him slide, and it's a great job getting a jump, but look at it. He's just looking down, look. The first thing you do if you don't know where the ball is, you look over at Dino. There's Dino right there. And then we saw Cody right after that. You know, he started like pounding my chest like that's on me. Yep, my bad, my bad.
And for an offense trying to get going in a game where you're talking about 1 run being the difference, second base versus third base is a big deal here.
See, now watch Cody right here. Let's see. Let's stick with him. Come on, stick with. Yep, my bad. Yeah. But he got down to second. Now we just have to steal third.
That's right. Make up for it real quick.
I got you. No worries, guys. Good job by Cody, though, stealing second.
RBI chance for Chris Taylor. Dodgers looking for the lead with the weather coming. The 1-1 pitch. Look out, ball 2.
Well, we're in the right part of the lineup.
That's right.
You know, we're at the bottom, and you know, and we got the 2 guys. You know, CT's been swinging it well. Mr. Lux had some great at bats so far this year.
2-1 pitch. Ball 3 on Taylor.
I got to throw the same sort of pitch and just hope that CT is aggressive. I'm not giving him anything good to hit if I'm pitching.
And if you're Taylor, you're looking at a guy in Winder who got strike 3 called on a full count pitch that was a foot off of the plate and walked a guy. Now a 3-ball count on him. Struggling to find the zone here in his first big league inning. Here comes to the 3-1, and Taylor takes strike 2. Of course, Jerry Meals is going to hear about it, even though that looked to be a good pitch. The crowd earned the right to voice their displeasure.
I mean, it's a good pitch, and it's a great pitcher's pitch, but it's right on. I mean, here's the thing: if you're a young guy, if it's your first outing, and you're getting strike zone like this,
yeah,
I'll tell you what, you're going like, dude, this big league thing is not that difficult. Because usually when you first come up, you wear it for a while at the plate and on the mound.
I didn't know the zone was this big up here. Payoff. Taken for ball 4. So the full count pitch that he got the call on, and now back-to-back walks since. Here's Gavin Lux. Doubled off the wall his first time. He's been on base now 6 of his 11 plate appearances this year. He's got the results on paper, and he's had the look in the box to match it. There goes Bellinger. Both runners take off and do steal bases. So Bellinger ultimately does get the third, and the Dodgers taking advantage of the rookie on the mound.
Kind of felt like that was coming after Bellinger had stole second, just because it is a rookie. You know, now he's in a bit of a bind. Not probably thinking about the runners. This is my first outing. I mean, so many thoughts going through his head, and none of which were these guys might steal.
Infield comes in. 1-0 pitch. Inside ball 2. Paco Baldelli managing this game the way we presumed both these managers would. Treating the 5th inning like maybe a little bit later than you normally would. On a 2-0. Lux swings and misses. 2-1. Excellent last season with runners on base. At 851 OPS, that, if it was the overall number, would make him an all-star. Bellinger at third, Taylor at second. Both a walk and a steal. 2-1. Good take, ball 3.
Again, these at-bats he's had early on, you know, Colorado, just that, taking that pitch right there. I mean, the maturity, the discipline to stay off of something like that. Wow.
On this 3-1, Lux swings, and it's a towering fly ball to center field. Buxton back on the track with just enough room. Plenty deep enough, though, to break the scoreless tie. Gavin Lux with a sacrifice fly, bringing home Cody Bellinger, and the Dodgers have the game's first run in the 5th.
That's all I got.
really an excellent at bat there. You know, made him get the ball up, able to drive the ball to deep center. Give Mookie a chance.
Taylor took third on that play. Bats 0 for 2 today, 3 for 16 on the year. First one from Winder is in there for a strike.
Hey, what spot was productive again? Go ahead.
9.
There's that 8-9.
Yep. Walk from 7, walk from 8.
And then 9. Gosh.
That one scoots away momentarily, not far enough for Taylor to come home.
I mean, if I want to get hot, I'm going into Doc's office and saying, look, Doc, I need to hit 9th. Just, I know you probably never heard this before, but
trust me.
I don't want to hit 4th. I want to hit 9th.
Yeah, I've been watching what happens down there, and 9 is the new 3. One offering. Pop straight back, and that'll be a souvenir, and strike 2. Mookie, by the way, hates the cold. It's grind 81 games a season in Boston, not being a guy that likes cold weather.
Right.
Remember his introductory press conference, he had a hoodie on under his jersey. It was like 65, 70 degrees. A lot of times he'll wear 2 pairs of batting gloves, full thermals when it drops below 50 or 60. Certainly qualifying for that tonight. Leaves this one upstairs, and it's 2-2. Uh-oh. They got to run, and now here she comes. Two. Flied to left. Celestino, long way to go. Got there. But the Dodgers strike first. A couple walks, a sacrifice fly from Gavin Lux, halfway home, or maybe even beyond that if that rain keeps coming. 1-0. Andrew Heaney has 1 run of support, and through 4 innings, that's all he's needed. He's got 5 strikeouts, 5 more, and everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow. Here in his Dodger debut, he's given up 2 doubles to Carlos Correa. That is it. He's able to pitch around both of those. Max Kepler leads off this bottom of the 5th inning, chops the first one that he sees foul. I think Andrew Heaney has exceeded all expectations through 4 innings, given how he looked this spring.
Well, he didn't have that darn slider.
That's
I'm telling
right.
you, this is what blows me away. He just developed it or figured it out, and he figured it out in Colorado. And oh, by the way, let me break it out in this big league game.
Kepler to right center field will split the gap to open the 5th. Just like that, tying run into scoring position for the Twins.
Just a fastball. It just kind of sits up there. Well, you got to hope that the Twins do what they did last inning, right? You know, lead off double and just let that runner kind of hang around out there at second base for a couple hitters and get back in the dugout.
It's kind of on brand for them, though. This is a home run hitting team, a very home run reliant team. 13 of the 18 runs that they scored against Seattle came off with a homer. And they've had opportunities with doubles in 3 of the 5 innings now.
I will say this, though. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Just waiting for.
Oh, there's time.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
here you go. So last night when you did not invite me to dinner, I watched the Twins game. 1 inning, they had 5 hits, no home runs. They scored 3 runs, and on 3 successive pitches, 3 base hits, 3 runs.
But how is the pizza?
So, oh, now you're asking me about
Pizza's
dinner.
good.
Like you care. You don't care.
I care about
you
the
don't
pizza.
care.
Go ahead about
Care.
the Mariners and Twins, though.
But the point about it is this team, you're right, it's home run oriented, but they did show some semblance of, hey, we can get some runs without relying on the long ball.
Yeah, before yesterday, 13 of their 14 had come off of home runs. 2 balls, no strikes on the catcher, Ryan Jeffers. Brusdar Graterol warming. The old Twin. Two and one. Takes a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a great pitch right there. Inside part of the plate, not elevated where a lot of his fastballs have been living tonight. I mean, man, you could just come right back there with that new slider. Kind of feel like that's got swing and miss written all over it.
Set it up with that fastball to the bottom. Goes to it here, and it's fouled off. Again, the idea is that those 2 pitches, this version of the slider looks a lot like his fastball until the last moment, whereas where the breaking pitch got to last year, for the hitter, it was a dead giveaway as soon as it popped out of his hand and looked different.
Right.
Kepler at second with his leadoff double. Heaney home with a 2-2. Over the plate, but got away with it. Rolled the Muncy. Easy play, 1 gone, and that runner still anchored to second.
Be one of the first 40,000 fans at Dodger Stadium on Monday when the Dodgers open the Braves series, and you'll receive Will Smith's first ever bobblehead, sponsored by Budweiser. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
1-on-1 out from Miguel Sano. Flied to left his first time up. Tying run in scoring position for Minnesota. Bottom of the 5th inning. Dodgers trying to get their record to 2-2. Set up a chance at a winning road trip tomorrow at noon with Clayton Kershaw on the hill. Strike 1. Big rip and a miss at that slider.
The thing that's been so impressive tonight is that pitch, it's clearly out of the zone. I mean, it's not a strike, yet big league hitters are offering at it. You know, it's the biggest thing you're trying to do with pitching. Make balls look like strikes. And that's what Heaney's doing tonight.
Started him with a slider. With an 0-1. Sticks with it and hits him. Kepler will have to go back to second. Sano's aboard. First time he's really been wild with that pitch. And they're at first and second with 1 gone.
I mean, this just bounces so far in front of the plate. I mean, it's almost out of the picture where it bounces. It's a freebie, but that's okay right now. I mean, you know, you got the double play in order right now. 1 pitch away from going to sit down.
Well, you wonder if this is going to be the last hitter for Andrew Heaney. I know he struck out Buxton both times, but is there a chance that Dave Roberts won't want to test him a 3rd time?
Well, if there was ever a time to test somebody for a 3rd time, it would be after you struck him out the previous 2 times.
Pinch hitter coming up here instead of Gilberto Celestino. It'll be Luis Arraez. 5'9", 165-pound line drive hitting machine coming to the plate. And Mark Pryor is going to deliver the scouting report to Heaney. Arraez, a .315 career hitter, and in this day and age of strikeouts and home runs, he doesn't do either of those things. He's got the lowest strikeout rate in baseball. He's got the highest line drive percentage in baseball. And he has as many walks as he does strikeouts in his 3+ years in the majors.
Yeah, last night in the lineup, and he just, I think he was hitting third, I believe. And, you know, again, that's behind Buxton and Correa, right? And you know, he came through, he's slapping the ball around, shooting the ball the other way. I mean, he kind of reminds me of Alberto with our ball club, as far as it doesn't matter where the ball is, he can get the barrel to it.
So Arraez pinch hitting, and the Twins throwing the book out as far as the platoon, going with the lefty-lefty matchup here instead of the righty Celestino. One gone here in the 5th. Here comes Heaney. Ball one on Arraez, who, yeah, do a little dance. He'll shake his head. He takes balls with swagger. It's a fun part of his game. Kind of a little Juan Soto in him without the home run power. 25 years old out of Venezuela. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0, and you can hear him saying,
right? Well, it just shows you how much confidence Rocco Baldelli has. He's going with the lefty-lefty matchup, right? How often do you see that?
Here's a 2-0, and he just won't bite. Buxton due next. Almost certainly going to be Graterol. Strike one.
Everybody clap your hands.
Kepler at second. Leadoff double for him. Sano's hit by a pitch. 3-1 in the pinch hitting Luis Arraez. Heaney throws. Swatted to short. Stumbling is Turner. High throwing. Oh no. Instead of a double play, a tie game. Trey Turner loses his footing on this misty and you figure slick night. And it opens the door for the Twins not just to keep this inning going, but to tie the score at 1.
Yeah, just not really sure what happened. You know, the way he fielded the ball, he was trying to be so sure he was going to use 2 hands. You know, it just didn't look smooth or comfortable for him. Then he compounded it by the flip just not being there.
That is going to be a really disappointing end, frustrating got to be end to Andrew Heaney's outing. Brusdar Graterol will come on. Tied at 1, bottom of the 5th. Offense, 2 sloppy defense. Both have continued tonight. 1 run for the Dodgers, and then the first run for the Twins coming off a defensive misplay from Trey Turner, ending Andrew Heaney's night. When, boy, off of the bat, he's thinking, I'm through 5 innings. I got a chance at a win. Instead, the runners aboard are his responsibility, and Brusdar Graterol's on to try and get out of this.
I mean, we're looking for one thing right here, and that's a strikeout. I mean, we're not even messing around. We've got that, you know, runner down at third base. We've got weather coming. Not sure that Buxton is a guy you're going to double up.
Graterol, as we know, not a high strikeout pitcher. 100-mile-per-hour fastball, his first toss against his old team. Debuted for these Twins 1 week after he turned 21 in 2019. And threw the fastest pitch in Twins history in that quick stint. Touched 102. His 0-1 by the hands. That can't be comfy. 100 up there.
But remember, you know, we talked about at the top of the show that Buxton the other night against reliever from Seattle, Munoz, 100 miles an hour, third deck.
Yeah. Careful where you put it. The 1-1 pitch. Strike two. All fastballs so far. Buxton struck out both times against Heaney. Completely different look here. Other side and high velocity. First and third, one gone, and a tie game in the fifth. Graterol to Buxton. Good take on a nice cutter, and the count evens 2-2.
Really an excellent pitch, and nice job by Buxton laying off of it. But I don't know if it's, well, I'm going to take that pitch, or I couldn't pull the trigger on it. It just
back to a heater, fouled off. 101 this time. So for Graterol, his strikeout rate last year was up, but still well below league average. 100 miles per hour all the time, but a lot of pitches in the middle of the zone still. In fact, he was in the zone more than any pitcher in the National League. Working against Buxton. First and third, one gone. Hunting a strikeout. Count goes full. Correa on deck. He's doubled twice tonight. And a 3-2 coming to the guy they call Buck. Fouled off.
going with that fastball right down the middle. Power versus power.
Twins bullpen getting ready for the sixth inning. Eighth pitch coming from Brusdar Graterol to Byron Buxton. Sano at third. Arise at first. 3-2 again. Sky high, short left, not going to be deep enough. Turner's out, Taylor's on. He's got it, 2 away. As good as a strikeout for Brusdar Graterol to get Buxton. It'll be up to Carlos Correa. The Dodger villain hearing it from the Dodger blue. He's doubled twice tonight, both into the left field corner, both on low breaking pitches from the lefty Heaney. Now faces the hard throwing right-hander Graterol. In on him with a fastball. Muncy's got it. Long throw gets him. Brusdar Graterol gets out of the jam. Came in with runners at first and third, faced two extraordinarily good players in Buxton and Correa, and got them both.
The first opening day start of his career, and earns the victory over the Rockies. An 8-time All-Star Craig Kimbrel is acquired in a late spring training trade and picks up his first save as a Dodger on opening day. Don't miss an all-new Backstage Dodgers Thursday, presented by Cadillac.
Tied at 1. Both teams getting the tally in the fifth inning. Here we go to the sixth. Still no rain. Figure it's coming at some point before too long as the Twins continue to bring in pieces out of the bullpen. This is a former Dodger and Danny Coulomb. 10 games with the Dodgers in 2014 and 15. Parts 4 years with the A's. And now in his third year with the Twins.
You see opponents hitting 267. He'll be asked to face two lefties this inning. Freddie Freeman, Max Muncy. Got Trey Turner in between.
Alex Kirilloff into the game in left field. Luis Arraez stays in and plays third, so put Kirilloff in Urshela's spot in the order, which should be due up second next inning. Freddie Freeman 1 for 2 with a double, takes ball 1. There's Arraez. Upstairs, ball 2. Freddie started playing baseball when he was 5. First time he walked up to the plate and stood ready to swing left-handed, the coach said, "Hold on." Ran up there and tried to move him around to make him bat like everybody else, right-handed. So Freddie's mom, Rosemary, ran out there and said, "Hold on, he's a lefty. Let him hit like that. Leave him alone." And he hit a home run in that first game, and the coach didn't try to quote-unquote fix him again.
Mom knows best.
That's right. Starting to see some lightning flashing off in the distance. See if the Dodgers can make some lightning here in the 6th inning. Teeth of the lineup coming up. Freeman pounds one into the ground at second. There's Polanco for the first out. Wow, that doesn't look good, buddy.
No, sir.
Rain starting to fall a little bit. Trey Turner to the plate. Chance to atone for his error that led to the run. He's twice grounded to short today. Another opportunity to extend that hitting streak at 22 games back to last year. Longest in the majors right now, longest of Trey's career, which is saying something because this is a guy who has lived around 300. 328 last year to lead the National League. Two and 0. Coolum having a hard time finding the zone. On a 2-0, Turner pops one off the end of the bat. Foul ground at first, and no, watches it become a souvenir. Oh boy. She's okay. Yes, it is coming.
I mean, do you ever see? I don't know that I've ever seen it. You put that up on the scoreboard. You got lightning coming and high winds.
It's kind of a subtle way to tell people to like take cover. Punched off the hands to right. Kepler for out number 2, and the lightning more prominent now.
Right.
I think that's probably a better warning sign than the smallish font up there that says, "Please find shelter."
Go in and take your spikes off, put on turfs.
Yeah.
Right?
Pitching coach Wes Johnson headed out there taking his time, and I think Max Muncy's saying, "Hurry up, give me a shot to knock one out of here, and then the skies can open up and the lightning can do its thing." Yeah, that's where the lightning's coming. While we watch the lightning and they talk about things, a word from Ford.
This Dodgers broadcast is brought to you by the 2022 Ford F-150 truck and your Southern California Ford dealer, where the future comes standard.
Wouldn't this be a convenient time for Muncy's first home run of the year? 36 of them last year, 35 back-to-back seasons, last 2 full seasons prior to last year. Tonight, Muncy's 0 for 2. He's 1 for 15 on the year. First one from Coulomb. Spins away, ball 1.
0 for 2. Remember that rocket, that first inning. See Joe Smith, he was in the game last night. Warming up here. Buxton made a heck of a play on Muncy earlier in the game.
Chases 1-1. Now Muncy's not been alone in struggling to get hits. Top 6 in the order tonight, 1 for 15. Only Freddie Freeman's double. Again, it's the bottom part of the order that has produced the run. Got back-to-back walks from Bellinger and Taylor. Sacrifice fly from Gavin Lux. Also has a double in this game out of the 9th spot. The 1-1 pitch. Ball 2 on Muncy. A couple former A's going at it here. Just miss. 3-1.
Looking for a pitch and looking for a zone right here. Trying to put one on the board with one swing.
We're showing that rain coming. The problem with the rain and the storms that are coming is that it doesn't look like it's going to ease up until tomorrow. Tried to make that a good thing. That swing. Dodgers trying to get the lead and then have the weather unload. Three-two pitch. Max Muncy takes high, ball 4. 2-out base runner for the Dodgers as Muncy takes the 3rd LA walk of the night. And it brings up Justin Turner. And Turner's going to face, it appears, Joe Smith. Rocco Baldelli, the walk out of the Twins dugout. And the wound socket Rocket makes the call. SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Jack in the Box. Try Jack's $5.99 popcorn chicken combos with 100% all white meat chicken and Jack's Good sauce. Order now in the Jack app or have it delivered. The rain is falling. Get the raincoats on. And Joe Smith comes into the game for the Twins. Tied at 1. Smith on with 2 gone to face the right-handed batting Justin Turner.
A little bit of everything from him. 4-seamer fastball, slider, sinker. Came in last night through. Experienced guy. See, last year guys were swinging the bat pretty well against him. Hit almost 300. Might remember him from the Indians years ago. Big part of that bullpen.
He's in his 14th season now. So the Clippers and T-Wolves game is next door. Joe Smith's wife is Allie LaForce, who is the reporter for Turner on that game, which happens to be right across the street tonight. Up on the hands of Turner, a foul ball, and he just hoped that all those little bones there are fine. Judging by his reaction, it didn't even get the hands. No, off the bat. Always cringe up there.
That's frustrating too, though, because that's, you know, it's a ball. You're trying to hold up your swing, and it counts as a strike. My God.
Quickly 0-2. Looking to the bottom of the 6th for the Twins. They have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. That'll be Polanco, Kirilloff, and Sanchez. And it appears David Price is going to make his season debut. and Smith makes quick work of Turner. Second K tonight for Justin Turner. That does it for the Dodgers in the 6th. Then it stays tight at 1.
The first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive an adult hooded sweatshirt courtesy of Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Temperature 50 degrees. Started to rain a little bit harder, and Graterol having a hard time gripping here. How would you like to have a hard time gripping and throw 97?
Well, how would you like to be the guy in the box?
Yeah, no thanks. That's Jorge Polanco. Takes strike 1. Polanco's 0 for 2 today. Pulled sharply to second. Gavin Lux for the first out. Well, break up the Rockies. Rockies are up on the Rangers 2-1. They beat them last night. Rockies trying to get the 4-1 on the young season. Padres and the Giants play tonight. Padres won the opener last night 4-2. It'll be Alex Cobb's Giants debut. Yu Darvish going for the Padres. Padres are 4-1. Here's Alex Kirilloff, former top prospect of the Twins. Debuted last season, is off to a rough start this year. You saw they're 1 for 15. And now he's got to face Graterol, who doesn't quite have a great grip on the ball. And take strike 1. Did he go? He did. 1-1. Beg your pardon, it's 0-2. .24-year-old Alex Kirilloff on an 0-2, able to get a piece somehow. That elevated 99. Alex Kirilloff made his major league debut as a starter in the postseason. First big league game came in the wild card round in 2020. First big leaguer ever to make his debut by starting a playoff game. Rolled it to Lux, and that's 2 up and 2 down. We'll just let everybody know we've had to have some of our cameramen get in a different position, leave their camera spots here for safety reasons. That's why you may see some unconventional shots here. Gary Sanchez comes up with the bases empty. Camera's got a nice raincoat too. Sanchez has struck out both times. Watches 100 dip a little bit low. This may be 100, but the way tonight was going, he's happy not to have Heaney up there anymore. Heaney got him both times. One and 1. Boy, a nice quick inning here would be just what the doctor ordered. Give the Dodgers another shot with this weather bearing down. All this talk, we're probably going to wind up playing 9 innings. Watch.
Well, the Dodgers, they got the big part of the order up next inning. They're at the bottom.
That's it.
Right?
Emilio Pagan, somebody they're very familiar with, just acquired from the Padres in the same deal that brought Chris Paddock. On a 2-1 pitch. Sanchez takes low and away ball 3.
Sanchez has one thing in mind right here. Be lift and separate. I mean, not the ideal conditions. Obviously cold, wet, rain getting in your eyes. Guy throwing 100.
Last 2 years, 1 out of every 3 hits for Sanchez has been a home run. Here he takes a rare walk. And the inning kept alive for Max Kepler. Dave Roberts going to go to the left-handed tossing David Price. Kepler, one of the worst hitters in baseball against left-handed pitching. And so no-brainer here, brings Price into the game. 1-1, bottom 6. And by the 2022 Ford F-150 truck in your Southern California Ford dealer, where future comes standard. It's coming. Who's going to strike first? 1-1, bottom of the 6th inning. And David Price is on to face Max Kepler.
David Price going to throw you that fastball. He's got that changeup, little cutter, curve. I think he'll be used a lot of ways this year, right? Be that hybrid guy. He'll make some starts if he has to, come out of the pen, do it all.
Yeah, last year was the first time in his career where he's mostly out of the bullpen in his first season of action with the Dodgers. Comes home to Max Kepler, who lays off, and it's 1-0. So season debut for the 36-year-old from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He's been an all-star 5 times. He won a Cy Young in 2012. Now in his 13th full season. Kepler 1 for 2. Takes a strike, 1-1. Price has embraced that swing roll you're talking about. Likes the idea of impacting the game more frequently than once every 5th day, as you do as a starter. And says he's here to prove himself after a uneven first season with LA. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Rain coming down a little harder as he gets ahead 1-2.
You know, as much as it's coming down, fans, you know, there weren't a lot here to begin with, but they're sitting in the stands still.
Guess there's a Pantone 294 group here. 1-2 pitch. Dave Roberts going with David Price for Kepler, who a year ago hit 157 against left-handed pitching. It's the lowest average against lefties of any qualified hitter in the majors.
I was talking to some of their broadcast guys before the game, and they're saying, look, he does not hit a ball to the left of second base. You can just keep that whole side wide open. Pulls everything.
Just miss. 2-2.
Man, as liberal as that zone has been tonight, I mean, look, if you're a ball off of the strike zone, it's been a strike. I mean, that's a good pitch.
And you know it's something.
It's a good pitch when you're a Dodger broadcaster and you're rooting for the Dodgers. But if I was hitting up there, I'd be like, hey.
But even objectively, you had Winder in his first major league hitter get a foot off of the plate.
Right.
You have a 13-year veteran here on the corner not getting the call. Full count, and the go-ahead run at first base will get a head start. It's Gary Sanchez, so he could use it. One game, 6th inning. There goes Sanchez. Here it comes. It's ball 4, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Two on, two out. Up comes Ryan Jeffers. Dodgers got their run in the top of the 5th inning and a sac fly from Gavin Lux. Twins tied it on an error on Trey Turner.
Jeffers gone twice to Muncy over at third base.
Yeah, strike one. Of course, the Twins dugout shouting, seeing the movement of Will Smith's glove as he caught that.
I mean, it wasn't received very well, but that thing got the corner of the zone right there. It just, Will didn't make it look like a strike.
Of course, as a catcher, you try to beat the ball to its spot so you can present it back into the zone. And the way that one was headed away from where he had set the target made that hard to do.
Well, he's checking the ball just because he had put a lot of rosin on his wrist and, you know, just didn't know. I mean, nowadays, you know, you got to check everything. Now they're going to probably throw this thing out, or, yep, ball got tossed.
So just being sure that what he was doing, what he was using was.
Well, you just don't want to make it tack. I mean, you know, the rules now, I mean, outside of that rosin and your own sweat, doesn't say anything about putting rain on the ball.
Fly ball, shallow center. Luck settles under it, and that's the inning. A couple 2-out walks, but no worse for the wear. And after 6, tied at 1. Back in Minnesota, rain continuing to fall. Not hard enough yet to stop the game, although they are doing a little bit of landscaping on the mound before Emilio Pagan throws his warm-up tosses. 1-1. Both runs scoring in the 5th inning. It's been a race against Mother Nature tonight. So far, so good. And Pagan comes in for his Twins debut. He's acquired in the same deal that brought Chris Paddock, tomorrow's Twins starter, and somebody that's going to be in the conversation to close games for the Twins as they go kind of closer by committee after they traded Taylor Rogers in that same deal to the Padres.
Yeah, the Twins have some guys in that bullpen that can get it up there. You know, Pagan will rush it up there about 95, and they've got this kid Duran that, man, he hit 102 last night. Be one of the first 40,000 fans at Dodger Stadium on April 15th when the Dodgers host the Reds and receive a Jackie Robinson jersey commemorating his 75th anniversary of becoming the first African-American to play in the major leagues. Brought to you by UCLA Health. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Smith, Bellinger, and Taylor coming up for the Dodgers here in the 7th. Only 12 runs in almost 4 games now. Got a couple extra base hits tonight. Double from Lux, double from Freeman, but those are the only 2 hits through 6. Lone run scored and a sac fly from Lux. So let's see what they can do in the late innings. They didn't score against the Rockies bullpen. Smith swings at the first pitch. Little crack bat fly ball into center that Buxton runs under. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, I like to see this Dodger offense get going at some level. I mean, even the run they scored tonight, no hits. No hits in that inning.
33 innings so far this season, and they've only scored in 5 of those innings. A couple huge innings in Colorado, and then just a few tin soldiers otherwise. Bellinger scored the run after walking and stealing a couple of bases. Not too comfy down there tonight. Drier tomorrow, but colder. Dodger Stadium is going to feel quite all right on Thursday night for the home opener against the Cincinnati Reds. Assuming everything goes okay with the weather tomorrow and the forecast is clear, it's going to be Walker Buehler on Thursday night. Bellinger swings and misses, 0-2. Just took a peek. 72 and sunny Thursday, 73 and sunny Friday, 72 Saturday, 77 Sunday back in LA. Bellinger down on strikes, 2 away.
All 3 of these pitches basically the same, starting on the outer part of the plate and just running out of the strike zone, and Cody going after all of them. All right, we get CT on, and then we bring up the hot spot at number 9. We're in business. We got him right where we want him, boys.
Taylor, a strikeout and a walk. Strike 1. Daniel Hudson, who last pitched on opening day, getting ready. Count evens at 1-1 on Taylor.
You know, for the Twins, a team that had a lot of question marks about their pitching. You know, for their first 5 games of the year, they had a lot of answers right there. I mean, they fared pretty darn well.
The bullpen especially gave up just 2 runs in 17 1/3 against the Mariners. Tonight, 1 run over almost 3.
And again, that 1 run wasn't.
Right,
you know, that
walk,
went on,
sac fly.
and that was off a guy that debuted, made his major league.
Pagan looking for a 1-2-3 Twins debut. 1-2 pitch inside, ball 2. The All-Star Chris Taylor fouls it off.
It's a good cut right there, staying alive on that breaking pitch.
Another 2-2 from Pagan, and Taylor cracks a line drive to the gap in left center field, and it'll bounce its way to the wall. Extra bases for Chris Taylor, who's on his way to third, streaking there with a 2-out triple. Third extra base hit for Taylor, and the go-ahead run is 90 feet away.
Taylor gets that pitch out over the plate, and it's right about the, we showed you that picture earlier in the game about the same level as far as all of his hits this year. Again, you put it in that head zone, like just above thigh high, man, and he's running for days. All right, Joe, we got what we asked for.
That's right, a chance for the 9-hitter, who's done it again tonight. Doubled his first time, drove in the lone Dodger on with a sac fly his second time. Best 2 hitters for the Dodgers this year have been these 2, the 8-hitter Taylor, the 9-hitter Lux. Chance to put him in front here in the 7th. First pitch, taken low.
See, like that right there, that's a big league take right there. That's a veteran take.
And he's been doing that all season.
That's
so
what
far.
I'm saying. Remember, this is still, he's a 24-year-old, right? And he's up there and he's spitting on that thing right there. The runner at third.
The 1-0. Lux fouls it off 1-1.
See, and that's, you know, spit on that pitch that's out of zone. That's a great cut right there on a pitch that's, you know, got to go after that thing. I mean, the discipline early on this season so far is good as I've seen.
Two-out triple from Chris Taylor. Two-out chance for Gavin Lux. He's ahead 2-1. After Lux, top of the order in Mookie Betts. Rain is again cleared up. It's dry for the moment. Dodgers trying to get back to 500 and set up a chance at a winning trip. On a 2-1 from Emilio Pagan. Gavin Lux cracks a bouncer to second. Polanco's got it, and the inning is over. They threaten but don't score, and we stretch in a 1-1 game. The Nissan upcoming calendar looks like this. One more game on this road trip. It comes at 10 a.m. Los Angeles time, so coming pretty quick. And then they head home, and the home opener Thursday night against the Cincinnati Reds under light blue skies. Got to be somewhat dark at that point, but you get the point. It's going to be nice out, 70s all weekend in L.A. Walker Buehler on the mound for the first home game of 2022. Second outing of the season for Daniel Hudson. First one was very encouraging. It was on opening day. Struck out 3 in 1 inning of work.
Yeah, good in his first outing, and again running somebody out of that bullpen that, you know, has got closer experience. Gonna rush it up there. Good arm. Remember, he was a closer for that Washington ball club that won the World Series in 2019.
Miguel Sano leads off and takes ball 1. That 2019 season for Hudson started with him getting released by the Angels after spending spring training with them. And he said to himself, it might be over at this point. Yeah, just 2018 he was okay with the Dodgers, but released at the end of spring training, thinking he might not get another chance. Toronto signed him though. Pitched well enough there to become a trade chip. Got traded to the Nationals. And 7 months after he was cut loose, thinking his career might be over, he was on the mound for the last out of the World Series. And now here he is 3 years later, still going, right? At the age of 35.
Pitching for a team that a lot of people think will be playing at the end of October. Shoot, probably, is that November now?
Yeah, the World Series does go into November. Here's 2-0 to Sano. It's perfectly placed. 2-1. One-time top prospect with the Chicago White Sox. Debuted the year after he was drafted. Fantastic first 3 years. He's dealt to Arizona. Then he underwent Tommy John and then retore the elbow during his first rehab start and had to have Tommy John again. 2-2 on Sano. So he went more than 2 years without throwing a pitch. From top prospect to 2 surgeries and 2 years away to a World Series winning career as a reliever. He's overcome so much. Facing Miguel Sano, starting the 7th, firing at 2-2. Sano pulls it on the ground. Backhand Muncy, who's been sharp over there tonight. One away in the 7th.
Yeah, Muncy's done a real nice job over there at third. Had a few balls that, you know, he's had to keep in front of him. He's made some backhand plays. You know, and this is a guy, right, that, you know, bounces around. He's at second, he's at third. Probably won't see much first base this year. Mix in the DH. You know, and he plays it at a very good level.
That's the 6th 5-3 putout tonight. One gone. Luis Arraez out of the 9 spot. Came on as a pinch hitter earlier. Ball 1 from Hudson. Arraez showed up as a kid way earlier than anybody expected he'd get here when he was 21 a few years ago. And they say the stage never seemed too big. He says that's because of his experience home in Venezuela in the winter leagues, where they play in front of huge, loud crowds. And he was always one of the youngest players there, too. So people around the Twins say that this guy got here and it felt like he'd been in the big leagues for 10 years right when he showed up. Just the way he carried himself. Debuted in 2019, set a rookie record for the Twins, hitting .334. He bunts it foul and he's behind 1-2.
That's one of the things you talk about playing in the winter leagues, and him playing in Venezuela. I spent a few winters down there, and it's not so much, I mean, the competition is excellent, but the reason they would send us down there was if you can play there with that intensity. You said the crowds are crazy. Think of it as a Final Four crowd, but they've got drums and they've got fires and they've got all that stuff going on in the stands.
Fires?
I'm not kidding you. They got little bonfires. Tell me, hey, I can tell you something. We could do a whole show on winter ball.
Did he go? No swing.
But the point of it is, if you could handle that and play with all that going on, then you were going to be fine coming back to the States and playing in front of 40 or 50,000 people. Well, I got some winter ball stories for you.
I bet you do.
Yeah, we'll get you next road trip.
Okay. Are those on the air stories? Or?
No, they're on the air.
Okay. Yeah. Grounded to second. There's Gavin Lux. There's out number 2. But fires.
You think I'm kidding, right?
I don't. I just
so I'll
can't
tell
picture.
you this. Yeah, no. If you picture a huge stadium and there's like little bonfires out in like left field or right field, we had games where we had security up and down the first and third base lines. The security was guard dog, security guy with machetes, bullets across the chest, and machine gun. That's what I'm talking about.
Wow. Don't strike out.
That's what I'm saying. If you could play down there, this is a walk in the park.
2 gone in the 7th. Here's Buxton. One ball, no strikes.
God, I got so excited about the story. Arraez, where did he hit that ball?
4-3.
4-3. I knew.
Yep.
You know, I'm locked in on my scorebook right now.
Well, you got going about machetes and
yeah, dude. I started
in the ballpark. I
started having flashbacks.
Jeez. The majors, you don't play well, they just give you a day or 2 off. I hate to hear what happens there. Buxton 0 for 3 tonight. Andrew Heaney, very encouraging Dodger debut. Struck him out twice. Flied out against Gratterall. Ahead of Hudson, 2-0. Here it comes. 2-1. Nice pitch.
I mean, I'd have to say early on this year, Heaney has to be the most pleasant surprise of anybody that I've seen, because I didn't know what I was going to get. I heard about the new pitch tonight, going to debut it. I mean, he was.
But even that was like, we'll see.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like we're going to see. You know, like, okay, really, we're going to break this out in the big leagues against the Twins, who, you know, been swinging the bat well. You're going to try this out on these guys. I mean, that's, you try that out in spring training on the backfield, right? Not against Buxton and Correa. I mean, he was great. He was legitimately great tonight.
Yeah, the only run against him was unearned with the error on Trey Turner. 2-2 on Buxton. Hudson deals. The count goes full. And I think that was kind of the tone internally, too. Like, we'll see. This is not ideal that he's breaking this pitch out here. We'll see how it goes. But again, the thought was, it's better than the one that he was using this spring.
Yeah.
They got to a place where he was at least comfortable with it. And it looked more than comfy tonight. Here's the payoff. Buxton swings and misses, and Daniel Hudson works a 1-2-3-7. We welcome you back inside. Joe Davis, Eric Karros, Rick Krajewski over there too. Say hi, Rick. Give a wave. All right. Dodgers got to get this offense going, EK.
Yeah, I mean, it really is surprising. You know, the one run that they've got on the board this evening, there were no hits that inning. And you know, you just keep waiting for it to happen, somebody to get going, especially at the top of the lineup. You know, the names, they're there, but the production hasn't been there yet.
Mookie 0 for 3 tonight. You know, 1 through 4 in the Dodger order. 1 of 11. The lone hit, a Freddie Freeman double. That is down the line and foul. That Freeman double is 1 of 3 hits total for the team tonight. All of them actually for extra bases. Lux has a double. Taylor has a triple. None of those hits had a hand in the run. That was walk, couple steals, and a sac fly in the 5th. Foul again. His teams combined are 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position.
You know what? A couple innings, each of the ball clubs, they had the leadoff double, and I don't even think they advanced a runner at all, right?
No,
I mean,
not at all in the 4th.
You know, it just. I mean, it's not surprising because of the weather, but you'd think there was be a little bit more offense. You know, the Dodgers just, you know, with their talent and ability, Twins have been swinging the bat well. They put up, they had 6 home runs the other day.
Yeah.
It was a Sunday. 6 home runs. They've had 2 games in a row where they were 10 hits.
Mookie Betts leading off this 8th. Top of the order for the Dodgers. He takes inside and the count goes 2-2. Emilio Pagan in his Twins debut over from the Padres. There is action down in the Twins bullpen with the lefty Freeman due next. Thielbar likely ready for Freeman. 2-2 pitch. Full count. On a 3-2, Betts takes ball 4. It's a leadoff walk. So here they go. They have Betts aboard. They have Freddie Freeman coming up. And a pitching change coming for the Twins. That does it for Pagan. Thielbar will come on to face Freddie Freeman, one of the best lefty hitters in the league, in a 1-1 game in the 8th. Into the high 40s at this point. It'll all be worth it if their squad can get a run here. They have the leadoff man on in the form of Mookie Betts. Left-hander Caleb Thielbar comes on to face Freddie Freeman. Thielbar is 35 years old. He pitched in the majors with the Twins 2013, 14, and 15. Then spent 2 years in Indy ball, 2 years in AAA with other organizations before getting back to the majors in 2020 for the first time in 5 years. And over the last 2 seasons, since making it back, he's 9-1 with a 3 ERA.
I mean, the common theme of many players is resilience, persistence. I mean, we're talking about the Dodgers' Daniel Hudson, and you know the way he kept going at it. Thielbar the same way.
On to face Freeman. Freddie 1 for 3 tonight. He doubled in the 4th. Mookie Betts, who way more aggressive later last season on the bases, especially in the postseason, started seeing him run a bunch. But he stole 10 bases during the regular season. Remember, he was banged up all year. But as he started to feel better, 6 for 6 in 12 postseason games. This is a guy who once stole 2 bases on 1 pitch. Actually, in the first inning of his first opening day at Fenway. Got a good lead over there. Strike one on Freeman.
Freddie batting .340 with runners on base since the start of 2019. Best in Major League Baseball. Got the right man in the right spot.
32-year-old former MVP with a former MVP at first. Here's an 0-1. Ball one.
This would be a nice time for that top of the lineup to just really make an impact. You know, Mookie having a good at bat, drawing that walk. Freddie, Trey, and Max coming up. Freddie up.
Betts at first, nobody out. No check on him. Now, the Dodgers did not attempt to steal in Colorado. They stole 3 bases in the 5th inning alone tonight, helping lead to their run. And Betts getting frisky over there at first, widening that lead, even with the lefty on the mound. Thielbar's 1-1. Takes off. What a snag there by Jeffers.
You mentioned it. You know, that thing wasn't even close, and it's running away. As a catcher, you're not anticipating anything. I mean, you're going like, hey, this is a big league pitcher. He's going to kind of get it somewhere near the
Throw me a
target.
fastball, right? 2 balls and a strike. Freeman watches a nice spinner in there for a strike. 2-2.
I mean, again, that pitch has got the corner of the plate, but it's not anywhere near the target. So as a hitter, you're going like, geez, that wasn't even anywhere near where they were trying to throw it.
Fouls off a fastball. Freddie Freeman last year was top 15 in the National League against every pitch type. So no matter what Thielbar has, no matter what anybody has, Freeman typically has an answer. The one relative weakness, pitches up and out of the zone. But fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, splitter, you name it, he was in the top 15. Betts at first, nobody out. A 2-2 pitch. Taken low and away, and the count is full.
What are we thinking here? I gotta have him moving. I'm going to do it. I'm just.
Well, this is a guy whose strikeout rate has gone down and down and down throughout his career. Seems to be seeing Thielbar well, gathering a lot of info. This would be the 7th pitch. That's a bigger lead than we've seen. And Thielbar thinking all those things. Or just I have to check on Mookie. Betts walked. It's 3-2 on Freeman. Trey Turner on deck. Let's see. Not running. Freeman fouls it off.
I mean, the not running is because you've got the heart of your lineup coming up. You want to give them a chance to swing the bat. You don't want to have a line out double play. I kind of almost like it. Just you've got that left side so wide open.
You like the idea of him running?
I would. I you know.
Another payoff. Taken for ball 4. Back-to-back walks to open the inning.
Really a great at-bat by Freddie Freeman, just because he's able to come in and face that lefty. He's laying off pitches. you know, he didn't like that one, and that could have set him mentally into a funk. But he doesn't. He battles, stays off the pitches, fouls him off. And as a hitter, you know, to stay focused, to not get out of what you're trying to do, ends up getting a walk, first and second.
Puts it on Trey Turner's play. 2 on, nobody out, and a tie game in the 8th, and a first pitch curve lands for strike 1. How nice would this be for Turner, who probably feels like that 1 run is on him. Well, probably would have been an inning-ending double play ball back in the 5th inning. He lost his footing, and the tying run scored. And now at the plate where he's 0 for 3. Bit of a slow start overall offensively. Chance to put him in front, but he's behind 0-2. Soft stuff, back-to-back pitches. The 0-2. Breaking ball, chop left side and through. The Dodgers catch a break. Here comes Mookie Betts. They take a 2-1 lead. Put it in play. Good things happen. Betts in to score. And they're back in front here in the 8th.
Turner just beats his ball into the ground and Arise. I mean, that should have been a double play, or at least gotten an out at second. And remember, Gio Urshela started the game at third, and he's known for his defense. Not really sure what that route was with the feet. It's kind of coming in and it's off to the side. I mean, there was nothing good defensively about that.
And so Trey Turner, who is on the wrong end of a defensive misplay early in this game, is on the right end here. They ruled it a base hit. It's a go-ahead RBI single. 2-1 Dodgers and still nobody out. That extends the hitting streak, by the way, to Major League best 23 games.
So I say Rocco Baldelli is probably kicking himself again. Gio Urshela on the bench, started the game at third.
Yeah, pulled the trigger on Arise in a pinch hit situation back in the 5th. And we'll have to live with the defensive downgrade. Live or die.
Scored that a hit, right?
Yeah.
Man, I'd love to be hitting these days.
You think the scores are nicer than when you played?
Well, I don't know if they're nicer. I don't know if nice is with the word.
More generous to hitters?
I don't know if generous, I would say. I would just say, I don't know, maybe their expectation. That play should have been made.
Agreed. He doesn't mind.
No, I take it. That's an RBI. If I'm hitting, that's a base hit.
Two 2-0 on Muncy. 2-1.
So the big thing, though, the 2 walks. You know, just like we go back to that inning where they scored earlier in the 5th, 2 walks. I mean, the free passes at any level, whether it's, you know, you're talking little league to high school to big league stuff, it's just, I mean, it's death.
On a 2-1 pitch, Muncy swings and misses. 2-2. Seen Muncy chase more early on this season than we're used to seeing. And the hit in the first AB, hitless in 14 at-bats since. On a 2-2 pitch, pops it foul. The Twins are still going to get the teeth of their lineup up. 2, 3, and 4 coming up in the 8th.
Yeah, but you're going to get the teeth, but you're getting Treinen and Kimbrel.
Mm-hmm.
I got your teeth right here. Here comes the dentist.
Is that Treinen's new nickname? Full count. Nobody likes to go see the dentist.
Right? That's what I'm talking about.
Here's a payoff pitch. Third walk of the inning for the Dodgers. Bases loaded.
It's a great take by Muncy. And that pitch is, I mean, man, is it borderline? Is it off? I mean, okay, so maybe it gets a little bit, but here's the issue. The issue is that the home plate umpires had a much wider zone than that this evening. So that's why you're frustrated as a player. You're like, yeah, come on. Remember that pitch? It was to Will Smith earlier in the game on that side of the plate?
Thielbar faces 4 batters. All of them reach. Walk, walk, single walk. And that's the end of his night. Dodgers looking to get greedy. For Justin Turner as they try to get some breathing room against John Romero.
Fastball slider guy will throw the change every once in a while. See the 69 strikeouts in 55 innings, only 11 walks. Again, those are minor league numbers. But again, one of those arms that, you know, coming out of the pen that can get it up there a little bit. Again, a guy we hope we don't see at all is Duran. You know, we won't see him tonight, but that's 102. But again, these Twins, they've got a revamped bullpen, and they've got some guys that can get it up there.
Romero, who pitched in his Twins debut on Sunday, 5 games in the majors last year with the Nationals. First year with the Twins. It's a waiver claim just a couple weeks ago. And that revamp of the bullpen, they brought in a bunch of hard throwers, something they've not had a lot of through the years. Bases juiced. A lot of masked men out there. Strike one on Justin Turner with a nice slider from Romero. Turner is 0 for 3 tonight with a couple strikeouts. 3 out of 16 overall. Scott Freeman at third, Turner at second, Muncy at first. Facing a drawn-in infield. And he's got a base hit the other way. Station to station they go. Freeman in to score, and it's 3-1 and an RBI single from Justin Turner.
Romero tried to come back with that similar pitch. It was a slider away, and take a look at this. Just didn't break like that first one did. JT, nice job. You got the infield in, knows what he's trying to do right there. Just base hit, will drive in 1, maybe 2. Real nice by JT.
First run batted into the season for him. Baton pass to Will Smith. Bases loaded chance for him. Romero deals and Smith watches a strike. Dodgers had 5 base runners over the first 7 innings of this game. They have 5 straight base runners to open this 8th. On an 0-1, Smith takes in the dirt, ball 1.
And this inning started with the leadoff walk. Mookie Betts doing a nice job of working that count, battling and drawing the walk.
Here comes a visit from Wes Johnson. who came straight from college ball to be the pitching coach here. In fact, was the first pitching coach in big league history to make the jump directly from college to the big leagues. He was at Mississippi State, he was at Dallas Baptist, and then Arkansas before jumping to the majors in 2019. Is a guy with a biomechanics background, but also the ability to translate all that biomechanical data. Really good communicator. And has done a good job with his staff. One ball, one strike on Will Smith. After the visit from Johnson, Romero goes back to work. 2 in the bank and a chance for more. Ball 2. The 2-1. 3-1. Nowhere to put him. It's been an ugly inning for Twins pitching. 30 pitches combined. Still looking for their first out. It's a bullpen that had given up only 2 runs over the first 4 games. Dodgers with a chance to hang a big one up there. Smith can keyhole here on 3-1.
Oh, boy.
Happened to him again.
Oh, boy.
What has Will done to Jerry Meals?
Oh, my God. I know what Jerry's done to Will, though.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Like, that's not even close. I'll give it, like, I mean, that's 2 balls out.
I'll give him this. It was closer than the other one he called.
Are you saying Jerry's getting better?
He's got
Jeez.
3-2. Fouled hard off Jeffers.
Boy. Oh, boy. That's got to be it for him tonight. That's it. That's a concussion protocol deal, right? The trainer's out there. He was smiling. Man. Wait, did you see that? Well, that's probably the rain. I was going to say that was. Man.
Jeffers smiling too.
Yeah, that's what. I think they're both smiling. I get it if I'm the trainer. I'm not the one that just got smoked in the head. I could be smiling, but that just, I mean, catching is such a thankless job, right? And that's why anybody that catches and does anything offensively, like the man at the plate right now, Will Smith, I mean, that is just gravy because you are so beat up. Hands, body, you know, balls off the head like that. That's what makes those guys so valuable.
Jeffers stays in. Count is full on Smith. Bases loaded, nobody out. 3-2. Cracked in the air to right center field, towards the gap, and it'll split them all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in on a double from Will Smith, and the offense has come to life. 4 runs here in the 8th inning. Still nobody out.
That's why he's the best in the National League. Because he can just flat out hit. Gets a pitch out up over the plate. Drives this thing to right center. Drives in 2 runs. You know, again, he didn't let that pitch fluster him. It's a great job by the youngster.
5 of the Dodgers' 6 hits tonight have come with 2 strikes. League-wide average with 2 strikes about $1.50. Now Bellinger's chance.
Yeah, I was going to say this inning so far, kind of the blueprint for what they hope this year, where it's, you know, guys are grinding walks and they're getting into hitting counts, and even when they're not into hitting counts, they're still battling. We haven't seen the big home run here. We've passed the baton. And there is no space in this lineup, or no guy that you're going to go, okay, let's get there, let's get there. I mean, all these guys are dangerous. When they're going right, wow.
There have been now 3 explosions, right? 3 innings where they've scored at least 4 runs. So out of the 15 runs they've scored this year, 13 of them have come in 3 innings.
I mean, what I like about this inning, though, it's a walk, it's a 3-2 walk, it's a 2-strike hit, it's a 0-1 hit. You know, it's the singles, the doubles, the walks. You know, it's a fortuitous misplay at third, like all those sorts of things.
A little bit of everything.
It's just kind of a grind. See, the Twins have 3 guys easily on the right side of the infield. I mean, it's like an infield in shift. Just kind of like a wall over there. You see the third baseman just almost at third.
Bellinger down swinging. 3rd strikeout tonight for Bellinger. 1 gone in the 8th. Here's Chris Taylor. 5 out of 9 to start the season. 3 extra base hits. Jeffers gets the defense position. It's pulled in. There's still just 1 out. Yeah, ball 1 on Taylor. Twins, by the way, are using PitchCom exclusively. There's some teams using it for some pitchers and some catchers. Some teams not using it at all. Dodgers are using it just to switch between sets of signs. Twins are using it for everything. 2 balls, no strikes. So this is new this season. You see that little panel on the left arm there of Jeffers. Hits 2 buttons. One of them is pitch type, one of them is pitch location, and there's a speaker in the hat of the pitcher, and a few other fielders can have it as well, that says the pitch type and location. That one gets by Arraez as well. It's been a nightmare of an inning for Luis Arraez at third. Justin Turner in to score, and they lead 6-1.
Yeah, the footwork at third base has been a little less than desirable, to say the least. I mean, yes, he can flat out hit, no question about it, but you know, both times earlier in the inning, Trey Turner, you know, that play right there, I'm really not sure what that was, but good for the Dodgers.
Not great for Arraez and the Twins.
Now, did they score that one in air? They scored that in air, right?
They did. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're back in the big leagues now.
First and third, 1 gone. Gavin Lux, 9th man to bat in the inning, swings through a fastball. 5-run inning for the Dodgers, coming to life here in the 8th inning. Smith with a big swing. His 2-run double. He's at third. Taylor's at first. On a 0-1 pitch, Lux watches the ball. Hey, so that PitchCom, the technology that the PitchCom thing, it's from the magic industry.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? So magic tricks? That's not really magic.
That's
They're
what
using
that was my reaction too.
Seriously?
Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
PitchCom has ruined magic for me.
Right.
Like, wait a minute. You're telling me Houdini was using PitchCom? Is that what you're saying?
So when you're saying they're using, every pitcher is using PitchCom.
Yep. So that speaker, the transmitter is on the catcher, and then the receiver goes in the band of the hat, and it basically transmits sound like into your skull, so you can't hear it if you're just standing next to them.
So I'm wondering, like, there's probably some teams that, you know, some of the guys are using it, and other pitchers probably don't want to use it. But I almost wonder, like, is that an edict from the coaching staff or management, and then now how many guys can have the PitchCom? Just the pitcher and catcher, or
up to 5 fielders, including the pitcher and obviously the catcher. So a lot of teams are having the middle infielders and the center fielder, or the middle infielders and the third baseman. Full count on Lux.
Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, you've got the middle infielders and the center fielder. They can relay, you know, the signs to the corner guys.
On the ground and through, Gavin Lux stays red hot and drives in another. Smith in to score. It's a 6th spot in the 8th. It's 7-1.
Gavin Lux just doing what he's been doing all year long. Having good at-bats, getting good pitches to hit, staying in the zone. Like I said, early on in part of the season, you know, he's probably been the most impressive hitter for me. I mean, just all around, he's been dynamite.
He's got another 2-strike hit.
Yeah.
6 of the 7, both for Lux. Back where the inning started, Mookie Betts got this whole thing going with a walk. So my first question after, wait a minute, Houdini used PitchCom, was, what does the voice sound like? And they say it's just a standard. I didn't get a great answer for that.
It's got to be like Waze or whatever, right? You can you can have, isn't it Waze? You
should be able to choose,
right? You get to pick.
Can we get Morgan Freeman?
Hey, what if you're non-English speaking?
They have it in Spanish.
Yeah,
they do have it in Spanish. Yep.
And do they, you know, and what if you're non-Spanish or non-English?
Okay, it's a good question. As of a week ago, they were working on it. So I guess in that case, if you're a Japanese speaker, you would have to you would either have to know, you know, the English or the Spanish words for it, or you would have to use the traditional signs. But it's all being worked on and should be available in different languages soon. Doesn't seem like that'd be that hard of an addition, like, to add a language.
But what if like,
Betts down on strikes, 2 out.
What if you're one of the English-speaking guys and you accidentally take one of the, you know, Latin guys' hats? It's only, and you're out there and you, like, hey, wait a minute, hey, time out. Got the wrong.
Dang, I grabbed the Spanish hat.
Yeah.
I need the English hat.
Oh, man, I grabbed Ohtani's hat.
Here's Freeman, who walked earlier this inning, came in to score.
Although, did you see the baseball commercial? There's one of the commercials for Major League Baseball, and it's great. Ohtani's on there, and he's just like speaking fluent English. I mean, it's one of the best. Yeah, I mean, he really is. I mean, he's got a great personality. Besides the athleticism, besides the ability to play, man.
Did you see him the other day? He's gotten off to a slow start at the plate. He was given CPR.
I did, right? I mean, that was awesome.
Down the left field line, sailing. Good catch by a fan down there. Two strikes on Freddie Freeman, which hasn't meant a whole lot tonight. 7 hits for the Dodgers, 6 of them coming with 2 strikes. So also got 4 walks with 2 strikes. Two on, 2 out, 0-2 pitch. Freddie Freeman climbs the ladder and shoots it in the air down the line. Kirilloff running over, it's foul. Garrett Clevenger getting ready. Plan down there has changed with this big lead. Talking about the dentist and Kimbrel coming in. Not going to use the big pieces anymore. Diving stop by Rise. Can he get him? No. Infield hit for Freddie Freeman. Two-strike hit for Freddie Freeman. Bases loaded again.
Well, Rise saves a run right there. Great job of keeping that in the infield. He had it, you know, it bounced out of his glove, and then he went to barehand it, and he scooted that away. Couldn't pick it up cleanly, and finally grabs it. But by then, Freddie hustling down there from the left side.
Trey Turner slaps one down the line towards the corner and foul.
I mean, this inning, the Will Smith at bat was huge. Obviously, the double with the bases loaded, but the at bat that Turner had 2 strikes on him. Hits that ball that Rise wasn't able to make a play on. Scored it a hit. But for me, that was a turning point. That really just opened up the floodgates.
Okay.
If it's over the plate, it's a ball, and if it's off the plate, it might be a strike.
It's not been Jerry's finest work today.
No. I mean, look at this.
One pitch. Strike 2.
Hey, look, when you're good, you're going to get complimented. You're going to get, hey, it was good. And if you're not having, one of your better nights, you got to get. It's got to be pointed out.
Except they don't really get complimented when they're good. They only get pointed out when they're not, if we're being honest.
No, there's some. No. So there's nights like when guys are, you can call pitches off the plate. But if you're the same all night, like I'll be the first to say it. It's like, hey, I appreciate that.
Do you used to compliment umpires?
I used to. Huh. We'll tell the stories about that after my Venezuelan trip.
Oh, love it. 6-run inning for the Dodgers. It was 1-1 coming into this 8th. They put up 6, and we go to the bottom half. Lead 7-1. We check in with studio for a preview of Access Sportsnet Dodgers.
A 6th spot for the Dodgers in the top of the 8th inning. Trey Turner and Justin Turner opening the floodgates with a couple of RBI knocks.
Yeah, the Turner and Turner law firm came through today when it really mattered and looked great. These guys had a big 8th inning.
Break it down. See you after the game.
Okay, guys, the rain has started to fall again as Garrett Clevenger gets ready to make his season debut. How about it, though? Here we are at 10 o'clock local time, and they've kind of forgotten about the weather. It's back, raining, starting to lightning again.
Well, weather hasn't really affected us all game. We've been sitting up here in this booth, right?
No doubt. Yeah.
Fans, that's, you know, they've been coming and going. This time they're heading out again right now.
Nick Gordon going to lead off this inning. Pinch hitting, taking a ball from Clevenger.
How about that?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, right?
Wow.
So here's an interesting thing, right? So, oh, here we go. So, oh, boy. And so this half inning, right, this half inning, the scoring, we might, you know, you might complete this game tomorrow, or, yeah, you just complete it tomorrow, right? Doesn't revert back to anything.
This is coming down. And the tarp is coming out. So the tarp is coming out, and we'll see with this rain. It would be official at this point. The Dodgers up 7-1.
Well, what's official about it? You got to go back because they've got to get their at-bats. Twins have to hit. Twins have to hit, so all those runs, no bueno. So then what happens if you got to just continue this game tomorrow? That's what'll happen. But you know, this game ain't ending tonight. Not with this weather.
Well, hopefully it moves quickly and get this thing going again, but officially in a rain delay here. 7-1, bottom of the 8th, rain delay in Minnesota. Field ready to go. We're going to resume this thing. 11:28 local time. Boy, it wasn't looking good, but this place drains well. Drain quickly. They say one of the best drainage systems in baseball here at Target Field. Got some of the diamond dust out there, getting it dried up. Garrett Clevenger's back on the field warming up. He threw one pitch to Nick Gordon. That's when the skies opened up. Hour and a half rain delay, but we're going to get this thing in, it looks like.
Yeah, so what do you do for that hour and a half if you're a player? You go in the clubhouse, you were probably watching the Clippers and Timberwolves, or maybe playing some cards, making some phone calls, doing some texts, and then about a half hour out, you start moving around, start getting loose. They give you a time, and make sure you're nice and warm and ready to go.
Good luck with that part. Good luck with the warm part. Down into the mid-50s at this point. Everybody, I think, is ready to finish this thing up and get home for a quick sleep, get the bags packed. Be back here for about 9 in the morning for the noon start time.
I can tell you one guy that's not here right now.
Who's that? Clayton Kershaw?
Kersh's been gone for a few hours, right?
Deep in, he's into his REM sleep.
Well, hats off to the field crew.
Yeah.
Did a heck of a job, and this is probably their first run at this this year, right?
Look, if you're going to have a night like this where it's going to go late into the night, at least win the thing, right? At least come out of this with a victory and make the hour and a half wait and the late night and the quick turnaround taste a little better. And with a 6-run top of this 8th inning, looks like the Dodgers are headed in that direction. Trying to even their record up at 2-2, trying to snap the Twins' little mini 2-game win streak after they dropped the first 2 games of the season. By the way, in San Francisco, Yu Darvish gives up 9 runs in 1 2/3. It's 11-2 Giants in the 7th inning of that game.
Wow.
After he gave up no hits in his first start of the year, 9 runs on 8 hits and 2 walks in 1 2/3.
Giants must have had something on him. Tipping
Gotta
or
be,
something, right? I mean, that just as good a stuff as he has. Wow.
Padres are apparently dugout's very upset. Mauricio Dubon and the Giants bunted for a hit in an 11-2 game, and the Padres didn't take kindly to it.
Weren't big on that, huh? Somebody get hit or just
didn't see the aftermath. Just saw a lot of shouting from Bob Melvin and the Padre crew.
Well, you can rest assured that's put in somebody's back pocket. And there will be retaliation.
A lot of times that would be you, right? You'd be the guy. It's a compliment, man.
Well,
I hit you if you're not good.
You don't have to compliment me.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah, you felt it.
Yeah, it's just.
So Nick Gordon, who took a ball high and inside and now stands back in there an hour and a half later. Garrett Clevenger making his season debut through one pitch and now ready to throw his second. The 1-0 and a ball, 2-0. So off we go again. Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-1 game. Not many fans stuck around. What fans did seem to be Dodger fans. I mean, how many do you think we have left here? How many fans total? Are there 200?
Man, if that, right? But you're right. It's all Dodger fans right over the Dodger side of the dugout. And then outside of that, you know, literally the rest of the fans are right over the Twins dugout. And it's just a line of, I don't know, probably about 20. You got some ushers and
200's got to be a high number. If you include all of us up here, you probably get to 200.
Oh, that's exactly what you're not looking for right now.
But it's a funky thing for Clevenger to get all warmed up, throw one pitch, and then do nothing for an hour and a half.
Right.
And get cranked up again.
How about if you're Gordon? You've been sitting through all this all night, and then you're asked to go pinch hit and probably freezing. Then you have the rain delay, and you got to come back, and that at bat goes on your scorecard, so you want to make it count.
He was pinch hitting for Correa, so the Twins essentially throwing in the towel here. In a 6-run game in the 8th. Jorge Polanco takes ball one. Clevenger still trying to throw his first strike. Look at the shot for the game camera. There's one dude behind home plate just by himself in the front row.
Hey, come on down.
Yeah.
Get great seats.
There's a strike, 1-1. He's dialed too. Yeah, he says. Yeah, man. A friend. One from Garrett Clevenger to Jorge Polanco is cracked into short left field. Trey Turner can't get it. First two reach for the Twins out of the break. Just the 4th hit of the night for Minnesota and their first since the 5th inning.
This ball in on the hands and does just enough to get it over the outstretched glove of Trey Turner.
Alex Kirilloff now. And for Gio Urshela, that's a move that we saw probably regretted by Rocco Baldelli. A couple balls down at third where Luis Arraez is now playing. And Arraez misplayed them both as part of that big 6-run top of the 8th. Urshela so good defensively. But Kirilloff into the game in his spot in the order. Arraez in the game in Urshela's spot defensively, and the ball found him a couple times. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kirilloff finally got on the board this year. Got a base hit last night. Only hit of the year. Young player that, you know, they have high expectations for.
Still just 24. Hit .251. League average OPS last year in 59 games. But he dealt with a wrist injury. Ultimately had to undergo surgery for it. So they're hoping as he gets healthy that'll make all the difference. But they love his demeanor. They love how even-keeled he is. Hard to rattle him. His parents talk about his stare that he's always had. Back to when he first started playing baseball, where they know that he's locked in. You see it in his eye. Mentioned he got that opportunity in the postseason. His first big league appearance coming in the wild card game as a starter, or in the wild card series in 2020. How does that happen? Well, by being the greatest alternate site hitter ever. They say this guy was just insane. Like, they track stats at the alternate site, and he hit above 500 over the course of 2 months there.
Wow.
He's got 2 on and nobody out, and on a 2-1 from Garrett Clevenger, he fouls it off, and it's 2-2. Evan Phillips getting ready. Well, this here would fulfill the 3-batter minimum. Right-handed batting Gary Sanchez is next. You figured Clevenger would go a little longer than that. Struggling to find it, though. First 2 have reached against him, and the count is full on Kirilloff. Foul it off. Stays at 3-2. That's Terrell Cotton, former Dodger farmhand. Cotton was one of the pieces in the Rich Hill trade back in 2016. Here's another payoff from Garrett Clevenger to Alex Kirilloff. And it's foul again.
Kirilloff battling. You know, and that's the thing. You're coming back from a game. You're a rain delay. You're down 6 runs. Weather's not ideal, but you get a few guys on, and Kirilloff, you're trying to get things going this year. You want that playing time in the outfield. You're not giving anything away. You're a young guy. Rain delay, cold, that doesn't matter right now if you're him.
Clevenger tries it again, and he fouls it again. Turn it up to 97 that time. Kirilloff just won't die.
Well, it's almost like it's the end of. It's not a spring training game, but it has the same type of feel. Like the older guys are like, all right, let's go, let's get the outs, blah blah blah, finish this thing off. Younger guys are out here battling like it's the 7th game of the World Series. It doesn't matter. Again, they're trying to show something and get some more playing time. Kirilloff is one of those guys.
The 9th pitch coming. Kirilloff chops one to second. Lux, Turner, laid at first. So they get the 1 out. The runners at the corners.
Nice job by Lux to be very deliberate. Make sure you're getting 1 out. Don't get cute. Don't try to be hurried. Everybody's got those masks on in the infield outside of Freddie Freeman. Then, of course, you got Clevenger out on the hill, and he's got no sleeves, no nothing. Just strap it on.
Like an NFL O-lineman. Right. I don't need no sleeves. 1 gone for Gary Sanchez. 2 strikeouts, 1 walk tonight. Ball 1. And then there's Bob Guerin, who looks warm enough. But let me tell you, he's warmer than you realize. He's got a battery-powered coat on under that jacket. Not even kidding. Battery-powered warming jacket. That one falls in there for a strike, 1-1.
Yeah, he was showing us before the game. He was showing us the website. Talking about the golf jacket, the jacket that you can zip off the sleeves. He was fired up about it.
Pretty sure he's on the company's payroll. He was selling it. We walked in and he has a battery pack in his hand and he's plugging in. He goes, I'm charging my jacket. Excuse me, what?
I'll tell you what, though, you just saw that shot of him.
He looks
He
good.
looked comfortable,
He
right?
does.
Like he's like, what's this? Like, hey, we got ourselves a ball game out here. Let's go, man.
You got to share one of those with Dave Roberts, who he gets cold really easily, and he says he hates it. When he gets cold, he can't think straight, so he bundles up. And we got to share one of those warming jackets with the skipper. Gordon at third, Kirilloff at first. Oh, the 1-2. Got him on the high fastball. Third time he's struck out tonight.
Clevenger just rearing back and firing. This is 96, 97. You know, nowhere in the zone. And Sanchez kind of like he's got that sword-like swing. Just he knew right when he committed. He's like, oh, this is out of the zone. Why am I going here?
So 2 away for Max Kepler, the rare big leaguer from Germany. Max's mom is originally from Texas, dad from Poland, and they met as dancers in the Berlin Ballet. Dancers.
I thought that was a reindeer.
Yeah. Dancers in the Berlin Ballet. Say it a few times fast. They introduced Max to baseball, and they would come home to the United States to visit his mom's parents. And then he went to an American elementary school in Berlin where they had organized baseball. He started playing it. And within a few years was one of the top European prospects. Twins actually saw him when he was 14. Signed him less than 2 years later. Moved to the United States for a year of high school to help him get acclimated. And then started into his pro career. From Berlin to the big leagues. One of 42 players to make it from Germany to the bigs. Gavin Lux can't get that one, and Kepler's driven in Gordon. Betts comes up firing to third, won't get Kirilloff. 7-2 game.
Man, just sawed him off right there, but Kepler's strong enough to fight that thing out into right field. That's 2 hits that, you know, Clevenger's given up, and both of them in on the hands, and guy's strong enough to just find some outfield space.
That'll do it for Garrett Clevenger. 7-2 game. Runners at the corners. Evan Phillips coming on for the Dodgers. Bottom of the 8th inning back here in Minneapolis as Evan Phillips makes his second appearance of the year.
Yeah, he threw in Colorado, and you know, there was a ball that was hit to Freddie Freeman. It took a crazy hop, goes in the outfield, and you know, would have been out of the inning, and then next pitch, boom. You know, he's been good. Like I said, the numbers would be fine. He's got that slider, the fastball. Coming in here trying to stave off this bit of a rally here that the Twins are dropping on the Dodgers. Get to face Jeffers.
Who went to UNC Wilmington, was a physics major there. As Kirilloff at third and Kepler at first. Frisbee slider up there for strike one.
You're going to see a lot of those.
Saw another 0-2. Oh, that's foul.
Another one in on the hands. Again, the Twins have had 2 hits this inning. Exit velocity of both of them under 63.
Actually, both these guys went to UNC Wilmington. Phillips gets him swinging with another good-looking slider, and the Twins settle for 1 here in the 8th. Started 2 hours ago. It finishes now. We go to the 9th. Run 8th inning for the Dodgers. Trey Turner driving in Mookie Betts to break the 1-1 tie. 7-2 as we go to the 9th.
There's Trey. That was a nice inning. Just so many guys contributing. You went with the walks. You went with the base hits. You had Will Smith driving a ball to the alley with a double. And here we go. Another Twins pitcher, Jarrell Cotton, former Dodger. You mentioned earlier, Joe, in that deal to the A's for Rich Hill.
Josh Reddick.
Josh Reddick, yeah.
Well, spent 16 and 17 with the A's after that trade. Then he missed 2018 after undergoing Tommy John surgery. Spent 2019 in the minors, 2020 just at the alternate site. And so last year was his first big league chance in 4 years. Came with the Texas Rangers. Now in his first season with the Twins. It's Muncy, Turner, and Smith for the Dodgers here in the 9th. That is ball 1. Dodgers looking for their 7th consecutive win over the Twins back to 2014. Rematch at the '65 World Series.
Muncy hitless tonight, but eyeballing guys to death. He's got 2 walks. Typical for him, right? Getting on base at a crazy clip, but at least tonight he is.
I'll be looking at another. You know, the Twins have played in 3 World Series. And Game 7 of that 1965 World Series is the only time in 21 World Series games Twins have been involved in that the road team won. Sandy Koufax, 2-0 shutout win. The other 20 of the 21 World Series games the Twins have played, the home team has won.
Wow.
They've gone 7 games, all 3 World Series. And Sandy Koufax finished off that 1965 World Series with his 3rd start in 8 days. Gave up 1 run in 24 innings in those 8 days. Shutouts in Game 5, Game 7. Muncy pops this one back and out of play. There's a Lou Johnson home run off of the foul pole that won that game.
Sweet Lou. Sweet Lou Johnson.
The foul pole that he hit the game-winning home run off of at Old Metropolitan Stadium is actually here at Target Field. The Muncy aboard on a walk for the 3rd time this season, or for 3rd time this game. And up comes Justin Turner. Had one of the RBI hits in the 6-run inning. First 6 reached in that inning. All came in to score. And for the Dodgers, over the first 7 innings, had 5 base runners total. Well, it's starting to rain again. One ball, 1 strike. Doesn't the field look extra nice here, like extra green? Brand new sod. Hosted the Winter Classic here. So for the first time, this park was built in 2010. This is the first time they've replaced the surface.
The Winter Classic is that hockey. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look out. Up to second goes Muncy. Grass extra green, the dirt extra dark. Apparently it got laid down and they were like, okay, that's really dark, but they're being told that it's going to lighten up as they put more of the diamond dry, the diamond dust down. You can actually see some of the effects of putting it down tonight, obviously to help out with the drying, but apparently it will come to be a more natural brown color, not quite as dark as time goes on. Remember the old infield in Florida, back at the old football stadium where the Marlins would play? It was like
oh yeah, oh yeah, I remember it.
What was up with that?
I just remember it would just, you know, that stadium, it was a football stadium, right? And it was just, I mean, if it wasn't crowded, it looked really empty, right?
Yeah, because
so many, you know.
Three and two on Turner. And he takes the walk, so it's back-to-back free passes for the Dodgers to start this inning.
The same way that 8th inning started. The Dodgers were able to put 6 on the board.
Couple runners on for Will Smith. Dodgers had 6 walks in 3 games in Denver. They have 8 walks tonight. Strike one on Smith. Had one of the big swings last inning, like 3 hours ago. But at a 6-run 8th inning, had a 2-run double. Really break it open. Pops this one up into the rain in right field. Kepler on, making the call and the catch. One gone. The Bancers kid. Now here's Bellinger. Series wraps up tomorrow. Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers. Chris Paddock for the Twins. Actually, yeah, 3 minutes away from the series wrapping up today. 11:57 here in Minneapolis.
Cody instrumental in that first run the Dodgers scored. Ended up walking and then stole second, ended up stealing third.
He had 3 steals all last year.
Yeah.
He had 2 steals on that one trip.
Ended up coming around to score.
Main reason so few steals last year, the injury he was dealing with, especially the broken leg that he suffered in the 4th game of the year. So he missed 2 months from that. Wasn't about to put that to the test on the bases. We know when he's healthy, he can really run. Double-digit stolen bases each of his first 3 years, included 15 in his MVP season. On a 2-1 from Jarrell Cotton, Bellinger watches ball 3. Third walk of the inning. 9th of the night. So they're loaded up for Chris Taylor, who has continued his great start to this season with a triple. Almost time for it to be tomorrow.
There it is.
And this is now a doubleheader today. Taylor 5 out of 10, 2 doubles and a triple. Over 3 games so far this season. Remember, he had Saturday off. He's got Muncy at third, Turner at second, Bellinger at first. On an 0-1, Taylor checks his swing, and it's 1-1.
You know, in a situation like this where a game, you know, goes into the next day and then you're turning around and playing in the morning, essentially playing at noon, you know, there'd be a big turnover in the lineup. You may have 4 or 5 guys, you know, spelling the starters. But because the Dodgers are only carrying 3 extra players,
Taylor takes strike 3.
You're going to be right back in there. You're playing. I mean,
you're going to have a different catcher.
Right.
It'll be Barnes instead of Smith.
Rios, and you know the other guys will get in there. Rios and
Hanser Alberto could make his first start.
Right.
Two gone, top of the 9th, loaded up for Gavin Lux, who, like Chris Taylor, has kept on rolling tonight. 2 more hits, 2 more RBIs. And a deep liner to left that Kirilloff is there for to end the inning. Dodgers leave him loaded, but lead 7-2 as we move along to the bottom of the 9th. Dodgers in front. Evan Phillips trying to put this one out of its misery after he got the last out of the 8th inning. Here we are for the bottom of the 9th. Dodgers 3 outs away from evening the record at 2-2. It's Miguel Sano to lead off. Slider and a strike. Sano, who debuted when he was 22. All-Star in 2017, career year in 2019, signed an extension after that, but has struggled the last 2 seasons. In fact, struggled so badly that he was benched midway through last year. They're hoping that that can be somewhat of a turning point for him. He was much better after he came back from that. Showed up in great shape. Cut pork out of his diet this winter. Started eating a bunch of fish, working out extra hard.
It's a big man. And he is athletic. Came up as a third baseman. Still looking for his first hit this year. You mentioned he's last couple of years gets off to the slow starts. 2019, 4 for his first 21. 2020, 1 for his first 17. 2021, 2 for 23. And this year, we're still searching.
0 for 15. 0 for 16. With 7 Ks for Sano. 1 gone in the 9th.
Man, it's a great pitch. It's a great pitch at, what time is it? 12:06 after a rain delay when it's cold. As a hitter, that just, you got no chance.
Yeah. Hey, if any guy has a chance at 12:06 when it's cold, though, it's Luis Arraez.
Right.
Contact King makes plenty, but right at short. Turner gets him. 2 up and 2 down in the 9th inning. And Byron Buxton, one more trip up there.
How about Byron Buxton playing the entire game? He's had a rough one. 0 for 4. 3 of those 4 at-bats have ended in strikeout.
Twins, like the Dodgers, are carrying 16 pitchers.
16 pitchers, yeah.
So they actually didn't have any options to plug in for them. And that slider moves a lot. So it dips a little bit low. 1-0. On Buxton, who it would be great for baseball if he stayed healthy.
Really is an exciting player. I mean, just even tonight, you know, that ball he ran down early in the game that Muncy hit. I mean, that was. I mean, unless you're Muncy, it was great to watch, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just graceful, and here's Max.
1-2, and Buxton staring down the barrel of his first 4 strikeout game in 5 years. Dodgers 7, Twins 2. 2 gone in the bottom of the 9th. Evan Phillips trying to finish it off. Buxton 100 games in a season just 1 time in 2017. Now it is 8th year. So the contract that he signed this winter, 7 years, $100 million, kind of that perfect compromise. $15 million a year, exceptional talent, still an incredible ceiling, but the compromise for the injury history. Flies this one into short right field. Here comes Mookie Betts, still coming on. Mookie's there, and that's the game. Dodgers 7, Twins 2. They wait out about an hour-and-a-half rain delay, but they ride a 6-run 8th inning to even their record up at 2-2.
Yeah, nice job by the Dodgers. Really grinded tonight. And look at it. It's like we almost forgot, but Andrew Heaney, he was the story for me tonight. He really was. I mean, came out, dealt, threw extremely well, had that new slider. That was exciting to watch.
So the Dodgers go back, get a quick rest, and come back later today for the final game of this series. It'll be at 10 o'clock Los Angeles time, noon here in Minnesota. They'll go for the quick series sweep.